Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dice Breakers, a TTRPG podcast, no longer stream, with mostly accurate rules and inconsistent character voices. I am Rowan, the host and game runner for today. And with me are Alex, Mark, Joe, Purdy, and newcomer Liz. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I'd like to think that we're more of a brook than a stream now, a babbling brook that we'll chat nonsense.
Joe, when did you put that hat on?
When I said I needed to get into character.
I don't see it.
You just put his hat on.
I feel like I should point out that it's actually resting quite nicely on my over-ear headphones. It's not that I have like a 6-story forehead.
You got a 6 head, it's fine.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Taris. Can you tell?
We're actually just recording this like a week after we last played. We're just releasing it later because we had some other stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's totally
everyone
not
remembers
like 4
what
months
happened
later.
100%.
Clearly, absolutely clearly. Yeah.
I can tell you exactly what happened.
Good.
Okay.
I got loads of notes.
No, because we'll forget it as soon as you've told us.
Oh, so I
can't
shouldn't
because
do my
I'm missing the
recap.
last session's
you
notes.
can do yours.
Rowan, do your recap.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys 2 options here. I have a brief summary of the tale of the list, since it's been so long. I can give you that, or I can just... The tale of the list. The whole last...
Oh, yeah, that's what you were calling it.
Yeah. Oh, or I could just do what happened last time, the last session.
It's better to do a whole thing, because I
Yeah, let's just
totally
go
forgot it
for
was even called Tale of List.
Remember, there was a
Okay.
list involved.
There was a
Was there?
list involved.
I remember this.
There was a dog made of
Oh,
onions.
the death list!
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna go, okay?
Go.
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 In the tale of the list, we met our group that had gathered in the little town, or in the town of Little Ashbourne. It's a lot of words that can mix up. All for their own reasons. Our group included Donis, a gruff man of few words that arrived to town on private business at the behest of a client. Carrick Blutfesser, a private investigator/contractor who arrived following Donis based on suspicious activity surrounding him. Phenoglius Jofinimi, a wand agent set on the discovery of magical artifacts, both new and old, who had gotten a tip from their agency of the presence of a newly detected artifact. Celeste Shadows, a longtime resident and local sheriff of Little Ashbourne, just back from the city requesting assistance because of missing people in their small town. Upon following clues left behind from the victims of their disappearances with a little help from the local unhound, Oscar, the group found their way into some long-forgotten catacombs beneath the old church in town, discovering living shadows to be responsible for those disappearances. The group joined forces as they delved deeper into the catacombs, where they found some lost history, secret passages, a fragment of a sword that appears to belong to Celeste's family, and a peculiar mirror. A kobold in dark black and red robes quickly took their leave as the group approached, leaving behind a monstrous, whirling, massive shadow that the group fought to take down. With a few cuts and bruises from the fight, the group rescued the most recent of disappearances, Maeve Dunn, the blacksmith. They then sealed the mirror into a stone coffin, so some tarot agents can safely reclaim that artifact, and the kobold cannot return through that mirror in the meantime. After news from Maeve on the kobold's next actions, and that a group called the Highlanders of Moor seemed to be responsible for the disappearances and continued strange happenings along the Painter's Coast, the group quickly gathered their belongings and rushed off to the city of Pondview. That's a summary of the tale of the list.
I remember
Yeah,
most
because
of
we're
that.
just about to start something new, aren't we?
No, we've already done.
Just did start
Although,
something.
to be fair,
Yeah.
Purdy wasn't there for a lot of it.
I don't think you were there for any of that.
A museum got broke into. There you go.
Well, I have.
I know that, but what I was saying
Well,
was
so
like
we hear the
that's Tale
recap.
of the list, and then we're starting a new thing, aren't we?
Yeah, the other recap that I have is just one that I had sent you guys in the chat
Save the
multiple times.
podcast.
But sure. Last time, our companions of convenience awoke from their roadside rest to the sounds of reality ripping apart as a peculiar robot named B1 Loans tore through time in search of their door, which they seemed to have misplaced. The group made a deal with B1 to help them find pieces of their door in exchange for some of the loot that they found on their tour through time. After parting ways with B1, the group carried on towards Pondview, where Celeste stopped abruptly short before entering the city, parting ways briefly with the group for presently unknown reasons. Donis, Carrick, and Phenoglius carried on into the city, where the group split further. For Carrick and Phenoglius to go report to the local Terra offices about the events in Little Ashbourne, while Donis began scouring the city in search of answers about a rogue magical entity and the Highlanders of Moor. Upon reconvening, the group sought out Jen Holmes to warn her of the Highlanders of Moor, but she was not keen for visitors. After some unfortunate moves made on both sides, Jen Holmes shot a chunk out of Donis' shoulder before being calmed down and speaking to the group about a recent robbery in her museum. Holmes revealed that the 3 items that were stolen were a collection of spell scrolls from the Faruzian Desert, a magical brooch from the Faruzian Desert, and a collection of records from her expedition at the Origin Forest Resource Collection Zone from 10 years ago.
Very nice.
Just before we get going, can you remember whether Carrick is still going by the name of Rajek, or can you tell everybody what his actual name was? I think he told everybody.
I think we know.
I think
To be fair, I think
I
it was
can't remember
Donis's
if I
fault
meant
that
to know
everyone
or
knows.
not.
I'm pretty sure Donis said your real name, and then you were like, awkward. And then
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and you said, "Oh yeah, he's been using false name." I remember. That's right.
And if not, let's say that you just told us over this week, so that's not another thing for us to try and remember.
Every time I have to look back. What the hell was the name I was using? So he's not Rajek anymore. He's Carrick.
That should make it easier for all of us.
Whoa, and what's the in-game date we're starting on? Or do you not know that?
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's somewhere. Hold on. Today
27.
is...
the fliff of no flimper.
So we left off on Oral the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Liz, there's a whole, like, different
Oh, yeah.
calendar and day system that... Don't worry about it for now.
If you haven't
I
come
thought-
up with a birthday yet, Purdy will make you so that she can tell you what your like animal sign is in this calendar.
I thought I was extra, creating literally a universe for my campaign, and Rowan's just like, no, I've created new month names, new moon phases, we've got
No,
star
but-
signs.
No, that was me.
Yeah,
Like,
see,
I went
I
wide, you
enlisted
went
the help of
specific.
Purdy. So I was like, Purdy, if you want to add some stuff to the world, go right ahead. I don't mind. And she was like, okay, here you go. Today will be... It's Oral the 12th.
I was about to say, are we just doing exactly a week later?
Yes. Further, for audience information, this week before the game started, I asked the people that have been here the whole time to make rolls of stuff they're doing during the week. Liz, I've got something else planned for you, so don't worry about it. And let's just start with you guys meeting up to discuss your findings during the week.
Are we at the Fisher King?
Well, I mean, okay, so that plan was for last time in that same day. If you want
Sure,
to move
but
that
like-
plan to this day, then
No,
you
but like, I feel like we
absolutely
would have
can.
met up and split up, and we can,
Sure.
sense.
Has
the Fisher King.
Fisher King become the meeting place?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see why. I don't see why not.
Do I remember what Fisher King looks like? No. Do I remember that we were going there? Yes.
It's a Burger King knockoff, isn't it, Joe?
Oh, that was it, yeah.
You came up with it.
I did?
Yeah.
It sounds like something I'd say. I just have no
Yeah.
memory of it.
At the end of that session, you guys were like, where should we meet up? Just back at the place, and you were like, no, let's meet up at Fisher King. We
Sure.
were all like, what the hell?
The king of fish burgers. Why not?
But I want to meet up someone with a drink.
You can get a drink
There
at
could
Fisher
be
King.
drinks at Fisher King.
Nice
I
I can't
brine.
believe that you, Mark, of all people, can't think of a drink involving fish.
Can we not go there?
Yeah, I've got some recipes for that somewhere. Hang on. Where's that gone?
All right, so it is
Fish juice.
afternoon on Oral the 12th. Y'all have spent the week doing some stuff. And you all arrive at Fisher King.
Arrive back. And Carrick is no doubt trying to climb up onto one of the chairs which are far too tall.
Donis has got his usual order of something crunchy. I don't know what that is, but whatever. Some stale bread or something, I'm sure.
Oh, you could have a fish cake with bones in it.
Bones. No. Crunchy, not pokey.
So you could have Yeah, extra well done fries.
Wait, does Fisher King allow dogs in?
Sure.
Cool.
I don't think we have one.
Well,
That's where you're wrong. Celeste turns up with Oscar.
As soon as you walk in,
Oh,
Darnis's face is just like, why have you brought that mud here?
Look, I didn't have a choice. He found me, and he's followed me.
You definitely have a choice.
You try telling him to not follow me.
You have a scythe.
I am not. No. Get that idea out of your head right now.
Yeah, Dennis, I gotta agree. I think that is just too much mess up close. What you gotta do is you gotta get him hitched to a post, and then I'll just take a few pot shots at him, and then I'll solve all of our problems.
I can agree with this. Distance.
Also-
I can't agree with this. Not happening.
Also, Carrick, I removed the little doohickeys I attached to your armor and your sword, so I can have my bottle of endless coffee and jug and stuff again, as I pour a ridiculous amount of mayonnaise out of my alchemy jug to put on my fish fillet burger. And then I'll dip it in the mayonnaise and start to eat it as well.
Well, that looks like an interesting meal. I don't think I'll bother.
Look, Oscar is a resident of Little Ashbourne. As the sheriff of Little Ashbourne, I strictly forbid a hair being harmed on his head or body.
Oh, what a shame!
Anywhere.
We're not in Little Ashbourne. Oh no! Who's to say what might happen to him upon the dangerous road?
Oscar licks his ass.
It's a mutt. It doesn't have a personality.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
We are talking about the same unhound here, right?
That's not necessarily true, Dennis.
Darnis.
He was our chief suspect in Little Ashbourne.
That doesn't mean he has a personality. He's a beast.
He's got a soul of evil, a heart of deceit.
Beasts don't have souls.
No, that's true. I'm just trying to make Celeste feel better before I put it out of its misery.
You're
anyway,
not touching it, and you're not making me feel better.
What have you guys been up to this week so we can progress along our destined path?
Oh my god.
Progress. Never heard the word.
Is this sounding at all like it did? I really
Yes.
don't remember.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
I
just
So
heard
when it
just
came
as
out of your
bad.
mouth, that was it.
Just as grating as it always
Sorry,
was.
sorry,
Yeah.
Liz. If you weren't one before, it's not my fault.
I'm loving it. Don't even worry.
You
Wait an
can
hour,
tell
Tom.
you're new.
Okay, what have people been doing then?
Well, I
Carrick, you go first.
was already going first until you interrupted me. So,
Okay, now talk. Say what you gotta say, Carrick.
Carrick, please, can you just speak?
well, I decided to
Just
try.
get your words out, Carrick. This is a
Oh
friendly
my god,
fun.
shut up and let him talk.
It's not that hard.
Don't you join in. It's bad enough with this one
I-
doing it.
He's not going to be able to speak if you keep interrupting.
Me.
I do
me
love when she takes that
interrupting.
tone with me.
Have we all
Go, Carrick.
good?
Speak now.
Ever hold your. So, I went in search of information about the spider.
Okay, that's good. You're done. So, what I've been doing. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, Carrick. I'd never actually
I
do
know.
that to you.
Celeste, that wasn't funny. Why would you interrupt?
It was a joke, Darius. It's
Darnis.
fine. I was going to call you Dennis for a second. Darius, Dennis, Darius,
Darnis.
Darius.
I will.
Darnis.
So I went down into the west of the city,
Yes.
which is a slightly more insalubrious end of the city, and I was able to find a shop where I was telling them I was trying to fence some stolen magical items. Long story short, they had a storeroom in which I found some packages with a sign of a organised crime syndicate I'm aware of, whose name I do know, Hog's Tusk, which have a particular sign I'm aware of. So I had a look through some articles with their sign, with their mark. There was some shoes, there was an old coin, some pottery shards. I made a note of the location. I used my finder's goggles on the coin. It was last in the possession of a half-orc. So I tried to use my placate to find him, and I got a sort of ping at the very last second down towards the docks. So I know that they're in town. They're probably the ones they deal in stolen magical merchandise. I didn't really find out much about where they're based, though I did hear a strange rumor that they're obviously around in posh suits, and one of the rumors I heard was that they were seen in church, which seems a little bit unlike them. But that's about as far as I got. So it looks like the mob's in town, and they
Are you talking about the Church of Redemption?
Didn't say. I just it's all rumor. Nobody really believes they're a threat in the city at the moment, but I think they probably are.
It would conveniently coincide with some of the things I found.
Interesting. What did you find?
I'll cut a long story short. I've speaking to some less than overwhelmed people. The Church of Redemption is a sect to help restore God's faith in Taris or some bollocks. I don't understand. But they have meetings. I went to one. It was very strange. The important part is there's a take action group of some kind, which we can go to. It's on whatever Monday is called in this world. I don't remember.
Mole. That's all I remember of it.
Meeting on Mole Day.
What did you find out, Celeste, other than finding our suspicious acquaintance, Oscar?
Also, how did you know to meet us here?
I mean, I was kind of...
Everybody knows Fisher King's the place to be.
Looks
I was
around
just
at the
kind
empty
of-
restaurant.
It's a
wandering
continental
around.
chain. Also, we don't really fit in here. You draw attention.
No.
Anyway, Celeste, what have you been up to?
I just went to go see a friend when we turned up.
And the friend was...
A friend.
In good health?
They're in good health, yes.
Okay, and this is helpful
Hey.
to us. How?
I didn't say it was helpful to you. I just
why
said
did
I
you
went
say
to
it?
go see a friend.
We were talking about things we discovered.
No, that's fair. We came to this city because we were told Jen Holmes might be in trouble. So the three of us went to go see if she was okay, and Celeste went to go see her friend. That's fine.
Look, I turned up. I had a bad feeling about this place, so I had to go and get it sorted.
Yeah, that's fine. I did not turn up very much. I was looking into the documents of that expedition that happened, and essentially, the sword director, he said that it was before his time, and it was and hadn't heard much about this group called the Highlanders of Moor, but the Wand department would have the records, and they said it was just like a run-of-the-mill thing, a routine check and dismantling of a Carmare camp.
Bless you.
So I've not found out very much. I don't think I found very many places in the city they could be hiding, or many places outside the city they could be hiding. But considering that we found out that they have a mirror that they can just use to whoop back and forth, that's probably not much of a surprise.
I did ask about the scrolls as well. People seem convinced that Wand would already have a hold of them. Oh, and also, I think Chicho's getting told off for the voice.
Just asking me to keep the volume down a little bit. I will try. That's right.
What was I going to say? Also, one of the apparent leaders of the Church of Redemption was wearing black and red robes, the same as our kobold friend that went through the mirror.
Oh, no, that is interesting. So you said there was a meeting at this Church of Redemption. Whereabouts is that?
The Church Community Center.
Well, it's possible there's a connection between...
The ad said, "Stop studying, take action." I don't know what this means.
What the hell? Studying what?
Do we have to start studying so we can stop studying to take action, or can we just take action?
I don't know what the action is.
That's true.
We should go along.
Okay, half of us start studying. The other half go find out if the studying is a requirement, and if it is, we've already got a head start.
I think it would be more necessary for us
church
to
is
find
saying-
disguises.
The church is saying stop studying and take action.
No. There's a, what do you call it, notice board with people putting up flyers. One of them said, stop studying, take action.
Well, I don't know if you remember, gang, but only recently we had some trouble with a notice board. So I think this might be the place to go. Notice boards are suspicious. Flyers, lists of people soon to be dead or kidnapped,
There was no people's names on this one.
because they've already been taken. Very sad.
Maybe.
Do you know, when I was looking at my character sheet to remind myself of who the hell Carrick is, and he has a skill I'd forgotten about, which is after listening to anybody speak for 1 minute, he can completely and flawlessly simulate how they speak.
Do it.
Go right ahead, please.
I can't do it. He can do it.
Please, no, I need you to try.
He could be just as annoying.
It's all right at the top of your register. You gotta
I don't
flirt
have-
with
I don't have a very high
your voice
register.
break.
Don't say
I can't do the. I don't even know where the accent comes from. Somewhere, I mean, sort of vaguely.
Yeah, vaguely southern kind of.
Prospector kind
Yeah.
of thing.
So, I can't. I'll tell you what. I'll think about it in the break, and I'll come back later. I'll have to mess about with that and see if I can.
I thought you were going to say after 1 minute of hearing somebody speak, you switch off and stop listening.
Now, after 1 minute of hearing somebody,
No, that's just your skill, buddy.
I just,
Yeah, no.
I get a triple advantage on attack.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, so
I think I have a thing where I can record messages for people and just like leave them lying around.
What's this, Dark Souls?
So, what do you think? I think it's probably worth following up. I'm convinced that there's something going on with the mob here. It's probably in the dock area, but then that's not surprising. They're probably trying to move stolen material out of here. But if you're going to track down the stuff which was stolen from the museum, I don't know, it could have come in via the docks, possibly.
I wanted to search this Church of Redemption.
Let's go there first.
Yeah, let's break into the God's
We
house.
can't go there till Monday, or whatever the hell they called it here.
What day?
I thought it was Monday or whatever the hell they call it here.
What day is it?
Yeah, what is it?
Monday.
It's Saturday. It's Sunday.
It's
No, Saturday.
it's- yeah, there is no Sundays. It's
Yeah.
1 day away.
It's in tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Eve.
What time of day are we
Night.
talking at the moment? Are we meeting up in the morning or at lunchtime or what?
Oh, this is noon.
I mean, we all stay in the same place, so we can just go together.
Well, we have the afternoon to continue our investigations. So we could go and have a look at the dock area, see if we can look out for any large people in neat suits. That's what I'm told they wear. If we can find somebody, perhaps we can get some information. I'm interested in where their headquarters might be.
Their headquarters.
Yeah, so where their leaders are, basically.
Yeah, their headquarters. This was the cadence. I don't know. It tickled me.
Sorry, God's speaking to us for a second.
Yeah. God is tickled by your cadence.
That sounds vaguely rude.
Is there anything we
Yeah.
want to do this evening?
Could I have spent any time in the last week, Rowan, upgrading my leather armor to studded leather armor?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Well, that's a good point. What am I wearing at the moment? I'm wearing
You're currently wearing my old studded leather armor, and I'm wearing your old leather armor.
So I am.
If you've got, you should have a +1 bonus to that in your rapier, which you need to remove because I've made them not special anymore.
So I now have studded leather armor, which is not +1.
Yeah.
and a rapier, which is not +1. Okay.
Where are you guys going? I just want to know that before we go over to Liz.
I don't know. He seemed to want to go to the dock. Unless we have a better plan.
Celeste, would you like to go to dinner?
I thought this
Can
was
do.
dinner.
Yeah, I thought we were.
No, I mean, no. This is like a. You said it was midday. I thought it was like a lunchtime thing. No,
It'll
It's a
be
lunch
dinner.
time.
It's
We
fine.
can all go for dinner, yeah.
No. I thought just you. Never mind. It's fine.
Okay. Phenoglius and Celeste will go for dinner. I
Yes.
and
Fantastic.
Eric will go to the docks.
Okay. Bye. I need to go get ready.
Celeste is completely tuned out to this conversation.
Yep.
Carrick.
Hang on.
Carrick.
Why have I got 2 rapiers? I'll use that one. It's got a star on it. What does that mean?
You know, some people look at their character sheet before
It
the
will be
session.
This is
because one of them was a +1, but you no longer have a +1
I've deleted that.
thing because I've made it not special.
I've deleted it, but I still have 2 rapiers for some reason. The reason I'm looking at this, Alex, is because I've just had some stuff nicked off me. Right. Good.
Carrick, would you like to go to the docks?
Yes, I think that's a great idea. Let's see what we can see.
The weekdays are in the chat now.
It's Srenroll.
Okay.
Try and be, well, I was going to say inconspicuous, but don't cause trouble unless you absolutely have to.
Why would I be causing trouble?
Trouble seems to sort of just be attracted to you.
When?
And you got shot by the person we were trying to talk to, for example.
That's one occasion.
Just one more than anybody else. Just try not to do it again, okay?
Have you never been shot?
Well, yes.
So then, we are on equal footing.
Yes, but not recently.
So...
Just get to the docks. We'll bicker our way to the docks.
Taris walks out.
Celeste, I don't know if you are aware, but Donis has set you up on a dinner date with Phenoglius.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
you're just in for it. Okay, just making sure.
No, she's not going to turn up.
Drama.
Oh dear. Cruel.
And I just wanted to make sure with Purdy, I did give you other information. I don't know if you're just keeping that to yourself. Okay, just making sure. Okay.
Ooh, Celeste. Donis being picked for the post of the most mysterious here.
I just wanted to make sure because it's been a while and we're all a little confused. Anyways, in the meantime,
confused.
while you guys are going to the dock, there is a new player approaches the plate. Hi, Liz.
Are they at the dock?
They aren't at the
Yeah.
dock, actually.
No.
Not at the moment. So the reasons you have for being here, there is a person of your interest named Sarek Lichter, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are working in the tarot department. What are you laughing at, Alex?
I said, who did what to her?
Oh. No. Shut up. They are currently working in the cups department of the local tarot branch here in Pondview. Which I know has been like ages since anybody's read that documents that had all that information in it. The cups department is essentially communications and relations across the continent.
Okay.
Just for some extra background, 'cause we didn't discuss all of it. Their big thing is that they are revolutionizing how communication is done on this continent, which I did come up with a name for, and I don't think I had given it before. It's called Ezra.
telephone.
Essentially, yeah. All those towers, like the communication towers that I had told you guys about earlier in the campaign, those were implemented about 6 years ago by this person. You may have heard their name in passing, being around Tarot and whatnot. But they are currently working here out of Pondview. So, Adelaide, correct me if I'm wrong, but I assume you probably would have gotten a position cleaning in the Tarot offices.
Yes.
Yes?
Because I'm a very great cleaning lady.
You are such a good cleaning lady. What? It's the late
Has
afternoon.
my character been in Pondview?
For however long, few months, few days,
Okay.
up to you.
Okay.
But I just assume that the government sees a nice old lady and is like, oh yeah, sure, we can give you some work. But it is a Saturday afternoon. And Sarek is in their office with some of the people that they work with here.
You mean Srenroll afternoon?
Yes, Srenroll afternoon, thank
You
you.
found it, haven't you?
Yes. And yeah, who do we see cleaning through the offices on their weekend shift here?
So Adelaide Smith is your premier cleaning lady on View and of other many great places. She is a... Sorry, I don't know what's going on behind me.
That's the cleaning equipment.
Oh, these are the props. Eric is bringing props. Yeah. Thank you. I was like, the fuck? Yes. So Adelaide is an old 85-year-old human woman. She's got pale skin with deep set wrinkles and like white gray hair that's pulled back in a neat bun. She's like a couple inches shy of 5 feet. She'd probably be taller, but she kind of like has a little bit of a hunch. And she wears very plain clothes. And she has like a little crochet cardigan shawl situation that she wraps around her shoulders. And she is the most unassuming, most basic, sweet grandma you've ever seen in your life. And she is a decent cleaning lady.
Currently sweeping the floor just outside of Sarek's office.
How many people do we think she's viciously murdered?
At least 7. With a
Gotta be
broom.
at least 7, yeah.
No,
Come on, she's 85.
She's probably got like a killer chocolate chip cookie recipe. Like,
I
Poison.
bet.
Gotcha.
A killer chocolate cookie recipe indeed.
Poison is the voice. I'm at 7 this year.
Oh yeah, that sure. Well yeah, it is kind of late in the year, so. Anyways, yeah, you hear some mumblings from the office. How long for your sake would you say you've been in town working here?
Probably about a month.
Okay.
Because she traveled to come here and get this job. So yeah, probably has not been in town super long.
Okay. So what you would know about Sarek currently is they're pretty routine. They come to the office every day. They have a few close people that they work with. But the main minutia that's going on in the Cup's office, they generally stay out of that. They're like a specialist in their field that's just been using the office space while they're completing a few projects here. What is weird is this time today is a little weird. It's a little off. Some people you didn't know have stopped into the office. There's a guy in a suit and there's a guy in robes that have stepped into the office to talk with Sarek. And you're just outside the door listening to some mumbling. Would you like to listen a little closer to see what they're talking about?
Yes. I don't think Adelaide was really prepared to talk with Circuits himself. She's
Yeah.
kind of just trying to feel things out.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't assume that you had talked to them at all in the month that you've been here, but you've seen them. They've probably seen you in passing. Um, can you give me a perception check?
Yep. Hold on.
Yup.
17.
Very good. So you don't know who the voices are coming from. They weren't talking when you were in there, but you recognize Sarek's voice. And you hear bits and pieces. Sarek essentially saying, "We're almost ready to move out of Pondview here." And another person saying, "There's still a lot of work to do. We can't leave yet." Sarek saying, "After Monday evening, we should be able to make the moves, and it should be fine. Everything else should work out. There's plenty of other people to handle this work while I'm gone." And one of the others say, I don't think the gathering at the church is going to do what you think it's going to do. There's been movement. People have been talking and asking questions." Sarek tells them to keep their voice down and says they'll work out just fine. And you hear some rustling starting to approach the door.
They're okay.
Yeah, coming towards you.
I think I'm just gonna knock. Cleaning.
Yes, we're almost done in here. Please wait a second.
She's gonna wait.
And then Sarek opens the door and just rushes right on by you. And then the other two follow.
What is he wearing?
Sarek? Sarek is not exactly a suit. It's like a kind of like a cardigan getup with like a business tie underneath. This world is kind of like a steampunky / modern crossover. So there's modernish clothing. But it's like slacks, a cardigan.
Does he have any pockets?
Yes, there are big pockets in the cardigan. And there are pockets in the slacks.
I'm gonna just kind of stumble a little bit, I just lost my footing a little bit, and I'm gonna try to see if I can take anything that's in his pocket.
Which pocket are you going for?
If they're walking out, it would be their left-hand pocket.
Okay, like the pants pocket or cardigan pocket?
I'm thinking the cardigan pocket.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand.
18.
Handily. Sarek is hardly paying attention. They are on a mission. You pull out just like a little key fob kind of situation.
Does anyone stop to help me?
The guy in the suit that was in the room does not. He rushes right on by as well. The guy in the robe stops and looks down and is like, "Come on, get off the ground." Helps you get up.
Just mind me. Mind me. You important people always have places to be.
Do you need help getting in the room?
I'll be just alright. I'll be alright. And she kind of gets up on her own and takes her broom inside.
Does he have you working alone here? Right now?
Yeah.
No, it's the weekend. Alright. Good luck. Walks on out.
Alright, once they're gone, she'll close the door, and then I'm gonna start rustling through his desk.
Alright, sure. Give me an investigation.
Okay. 14.
14. You go through, you do like the normal sweep of stuff, like you're going through, trying just in case someone comes in, you're like sweeping along and whatnot. Not looking too suspicious.
I'd say I'm kind of looking for anything related to that church.
Yeah. So you find some notes that are just like plans on what they're doing here. It's talking about the antenna that they installed here. There's some like upgrades that they're planning on adding to it to give it further capabilities and maybe extend its range. And in one of the drawers you find like a scheduling book kind of thing, and on Monday evening it says Church of Redemption 8 p.m.
Is today Sunday? Or the weekend day?
It's Serenroll. It's Saturday.
Serenroll. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Does it specify which church?
There's only one in town.
Okay. All right. I'll put everything back exactly how it was before. Leave no trace,
Okay.
except, for the dirt and all that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just say you can do that. You've been at it for a while.
In the schedule, actually, are there any notes about where he's going next?
No. After Monday, the scheduling just stops.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have anywhere you plan to go immediately, or shall we jump back to them until Monday? Tomorrow.
I think Adelaide will finish out her shift. She's not quite ready to have a conversation with him or approach him. She's still just kind of trying to gather evidence to see whether it's even worth initiating a conversation. But I think she will plan to be at the church.
Okay.
At 8 p.m.
I will also ask, where do you think Adelaide's been staying? There's taverns in town and whatnot, but when you came to apply for the job here, they would say there's also on residence housing that you could have for free while you work here.
Yeah, she would be there.
All right. Convenient. Then I will move on to the others for now. The docks. So,
I'm just saying, Carrick, the dog isn't necessary to the group, and it would be much easier to at least leave it somewhere.
But I would agree with that. But since it keeps following us anyway, I'd rather know
It doesn't follow us, it follows Celeste.
But while Celeste is
She is important to our group. She's a good fighter. The mutt is not.
You're right, but while she's with the group, that dog's going to keep following us.
I'm not going to save it if it dies.
Well, it's a nice dog. There's something about it, though. There's something strange.
It's a mutt.
I'm
They're
not
all
so
the same.
sure. I've seen a lot of dogs. That one is... I don't know. We'll see.
So why did you want to be at the docks?
Somewhere around here is where I got the ping from my goggles that said the last person who held one of those artifacts that was obviously stolen from them and was being held by the mob. The person that last held it was here, somewhere in this area of the docks. So I think there's a mob connection here somewhere. I'm keen to find them.
Darnis is going to immediately... I presume we're just standing at a main area of the docks, just a lot. We can see kind of a lot of docks around us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get the sea bells chiming the ching, ching.
What kind of time are we talking here? It's late afternoon.
Late afternoon, yeah.
So is it particularly busy?
Not really. Most of the fishing in the immediate area is done in the morning, and fishers that are out to sea probably aren't going to be back for another few days.
Then Darnis is going to put on a bit of detect magic, where, to remind everyone, his eyes just turn that dark black blue in its entirety, and just have a look around for any hotspots of magic. I'm sure there's some vaguely around, but anything blaring.
In the immediate 30 feet, nothing.
Sure.
Monday.
He'll keep it active as we go around.
I'll let you know as search. Yeah.
Is this a different day from when I presume it is. It's a different day from when Carrick was actually hunting around for that person.
Yeah. This is the end of the week.
Right, which means that I can actually use my locate creature again, and because
You could.
I have since then before, I can do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So I will. I'll try.
I will say, because you don't have the item on you, right? That you analyzed.
I don't think I need it.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think you need it, but I think it helps with specifically identifying the creature. I believe the goggles, you had said you recognize the aura of the creature that touched it. So all I was going to say was,
I will tell you.
Give me a history roll of 10 or higher to determine whether or not you can recognize that aura again. History 10 or higher.
Go on, you can do it. 10.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
And that's because I got plus 5.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I'm only going to roll 5 or higher. 5. So, yeah.
God.
Yeah, you get a ping.
I get a ping.
Northeast.
What are you doing?
Well, these goggles have a few natty little features. One of them is I can locate somebody once a day. And because I was able to examine that coin that I found, the goggles are telling me who the last person, or more rather where the last person to touch that coin currently is, and they're that way.
Okay.
Shall we?
Taris starts walking that way.
That way.
All right.
I'm going that way as well, which is northeast.
Yes.
While you guys are walking, I want to quickly check in on Celeste and Phenoglius. What's going on with you two?
After leaving Fisher King, Phenoglius would have gone out to a market to buy either the materials to make or just buy a hairbrush or comb to try and brush out his unruly hair.
Just buy the damn comb, man.
And then he would have cleaned up his clothes with a little device that just kind of like incinerates all the dirt on them. And then he would have waited outside the lodgings for Celeste, who, based on what Purdy said, would never have turned up. And after a little while,
I've been thinking that she would turn up.
Having been stood up, Phenoglius would say, "Oh
No,
wait,
she's turning up. She's turning up.
I never said where we should go.
Oh my god.
I didn't say where, Nita."
Celeste is turning up back up at the was it Fisher King.
Fisher King.
But like she's going to be late, but probably turns up at the same time that Phenoglius kind of turns up.
Phenoglius is waiting outside the lodging, so he'll be waiting a long time.
That's fine, because she like never went to the lodgings anyway, so she wouldn't have bumped into you. But yeah, she heads over to the thingy.
So I get stood up anyway.
Well,
Are you not? You never go into Fisher King?
Why would we go to the same place that we went to for lunch?
It's your meeting spot.
It's true.
He'd go and knock on her room door a couple of times to see if she'd come in, and he'd not noticed. But no, he'd go and he'd just sit and wait for the others to get back.
But she's not even at the same lodgings as you at the moment.
Oh, it's true.
I thought you were staying at the same place with us.
No, she didn't come into town with us.
No, I didn't come into town.
Well, in that case, he probably would have gone to Fisher King. Would have hurried there once he'd remembered that.
Yes. Hang on.
Was there a little bit of a pity party for a while though, just like trouncing around?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay. Adelaide, you see a very disgruntled looking fairy just kind of wandering around the like lodgings area. Briefly. I don't know if you want to interact with that, but it's there if you want to.
Like by the free lodging?
Yeah. It's like a little block of lodgings, and there's like a rest area and a small little cafeteria section.
You would see him near constantly drinking from like a silver canister that looks kind of like a flask, but drinking far more from it than it has any right to hold.
Can we, for the sake of everybody, because it's been such a long time, but also Liz, do like another description of how Phenoglius actually looks?
Yes, please.
I put
I'm sure we'll do that for everybody as we go through.
I saw the picture.
Yes. So I put Finoglis. He is about 4 foot tall. His wings are like quite small when walking around, and then they kind of extend outwards when he's flying. What else have I got? I think I've got his age somewhere. He is about 26, if you couldn't tell. He has hazel eyes and black hair. And yeah, he's got a wonder of the world in his eyes and a horrible voice. And lots of many bright clothes and a purple top hat. Which I feel like I should say, because this is the first time we've met, I had this first. I did not buy this because I gave Finoglius a purple top hat.
Although I feel like I should say, having known him for probably like a decade.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been out of character for me, I guess.
Yeah,
you would have bought
I was going to say, I was impressed that you had props. Mine came, I wasn't prepared, but...
I will say, for the other campaign, I do have that character, my backup character for that, in a hat. Actually, my main character for that has a hat as well, but I don't have. And I was thinking about buying a hat for when my backup character eventually comes in.
A man of many hats.
You need to make a hat wall behind you.
The only hats I have are like, I don't normally wear hats, but I have like a bunch of hats that I just wear for like stupid things. Like this was part of my Halloween costume. This is a beret that I got at a hen party, bachelorette party.
Very nice.
I just don't normally wear hats. I'm not sure why I have all of these within arm's reach.
Yeah, I think that's the most concerning part.
This feels like this could be a conversation your character is having right now, just describing all your different hats.
That's kind of fair, to be honest.
Hi, I'm you just describing hats.
Maybe I should make my next character a person who makes hats, and I can just change them as we go.
Fresh take on the Mad Hatter.
Something to consider. I could do the Mad Hatter, couldn't I? I've got the voice.
So is there an interaction between you two, or is it a passing...
Yeah, Adelaide will kind of walk up. She has like a little cane that she uses to kind of like help her get around. And she'll just be like, "Oh dear, are you okay? You know, are you all right?"
My soul is flooded with anguish, kind lady.
Oh,
I believe I've been stood up for a date with a queen among mortals. It's very sad.
What's her name?
Her name is Celeste.
Beautiful name.
Right. Right.
Right.
Great.
What are you drinking?
Oh, this is my infinite coffee. It doesn't run out, and people tell me I should have less, but I love the taste.
Oh, I love the taste too. That's great.
Would you like some? It's nice. It's got like a little bit of vanilla, and it's nice. It's good.
She will take a sip. Does it taste like coffee?
Yeah, it's just coffee. Like me, Joe, knows nothing about coffee, so you can decide if it's nice coffee or not. It's like a basic Starbucks coffee. I don't know.
Oh, burnt ends.
Starbucks are horrible, isn't they?
She'll kind of like pat you on the back a little bit and pass the flask back to you, and just be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that you got stood up by your date. You know, you're young. There'll be another one for you."
Thank you, but kind stranger. What's your name? I'm Finoglius Jophinami.
That's a name.
It's my name.
Mine is Adelaide, but everyone just calls me Granny.
Granny. That's very nice. You must be a very sweet person. I trust you implicitly, straight away, no questions. That's just the kind of person I am.
She's gonna go in for like just a hug and try to pick his pocket.
That's funny. I was literally about to say, I will, as we're hugging, I will try and give her a pat down to see if she's got any magical items on her. Because I remember that's my thing, is that I'm supposed to be on the lookout for magical items.
I guess I didn't say her last name. Her last name is Smith. And
Granny
everyone
Smith.
calls her Granny because I just like the idea of her being a Granny Smith.
She's an apple-based character.
Yeah,
Oh no.
apple-based
You know,
character.
Apple
would get along so
pie,
well.
cookies.
I like you already, Liz. My last character was a pear-based character.
Specifically pear-based desserts as well.
Ow. I misfired.
His name basically translated to pear pudding. But all of his family members were named after different kinds of pears. And then when he got a clone, it was also named after a different kind of pear.
Amazing. I love that.
You guys both want to give me a sleight of hand check, as well as insight, or not insights, I guess passive perceptions, unless you're particularly suspicious of one another.
Natural 20 on my sleight of hand.
Holy
Plus
shit.
You got a 16.
Okay. What are
My
your
passive perception is 10. I have a passive investigation apparently of 15, if that is of any help.
Do you want me to
Add-
tell you what
your
I
passive
have?
perception?
Oh, 10. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, 10.
I mean, yeah, you got a natural 20 on this. So you both pickpocket one another successfully without either of you noticing.
Wait. Did they take my item?
Yeah, I'm not trying to necessarily reach into pockets and take stuff out. This is more of a, do you have something on you that would be weird for you to have?
Okay, well, if you're just trying to identify it, then you can fully identify.
Like a subtle TSA agent.
She is wearing a magical ring on her left hand, and it's just like a plain band.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting. And then, would you like me to select something that you've taken from me, or do you want?
Anything that you would have had in your pocket doesn't have to. It could be a scrap of paper.
In my pocket. God, I have some weird and random stuff, and not a lot of stuff. I'll give you the thing that is like. I have only 2 small things really. None of this should fit in my pocket, so I guess it's all in my backpack. You would take out a very old-looking key.
Okay.
This for you, Rowan. I have written down here abjuration magic key. It's from the crypt that collapsed.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know if it has any further use, but
Well,
it was the one that let us through. It wasn't anything to do with the portal. It was the one that went through like the initial doors. Like there was the door that the balls went into, and then it was just like those 2 initial doors, and that was it.
okay. Got it. Noted.
I will reach as we end the hug. I will reach into presumably a pocket that doesn't have your hand in it, or has just had your hand in it, and I will take out a small little device, and it looks just like a little round disc with like a clicky button in it, and I will hand it to you as I infuse it with a tap from my I've got like a little multi-tool thing in hand, and I'll say, "You're very kind, and I want you to take this and use it to always remember that you're a very nice person."
She will keep a key, actually. But thank you. What does this do? If she takes the little thingy,
Oh, press a button.
she hesitates and then she presses.
This is from my magical tinkering, and I can. So I've infused it with a 6-second long recorded message, which is basically, "You're such a nice person. You really made a difference to my evening, and I really hope that you have a great day. And oh, this is getting kind of long, so I'm just gonna." And that'll just play That'll just play every time you click the button.
Dropped the key that she was gonna take back in his pocket. He's guilty. This is the nicest thing I've gotten in such a long day. You have made this old woman so happy.
That's kind of depressing. I hope that you have a better day than that tomorrow.
Well, we'll see. I'm new to town, so I'm still learning the ropes here.
Oh well, we're new to town. We only been here a week, so if we're staying at like the free lodging here.
She's like looking around at people that no one is around you.
Me and all the voices in my head.
I'm like, she like steps back a little, like.
We is Carrick. He's a little goblin investigator guy who often likes to use a different name. So if you meet him at some point and he introduces himself with a different name, just don't mention that I told you his name was Carrick, because he'll be really embarrassed. And then there's Dennis, who is like a very tall fella. You may, on occasion, see him pull a sword out of his body. It's crazy. It's nuts. And sometimes his eyes glow and his face is all kind of cracked and has blue energy coming out of it. Honestly, he kind of looks like a walking plague hazard, but he's nice. He's just got to work to get that tender heart underneath. And it's just the three. Oh, damn. It's just the three of us who are staying here. Celeste isn't even staying. I've got to go. I'm really sorry. But I'll probably be here at some point tomorrow if you're around and you want to just hang out or get a coffee or something to repay your kindness. Right. I'm really sorry. You see his wings will kind of like extend outwards and he will take off and book it in the direction of Fisher King.
She does not believe anything that you just said. She does not think those are real people at all. It's like, that was weird.
I didn't.
Just walks away.
Get to the dog that's also a unicorn.
Oh man.
Oh god, that was beautiful. All right, Carrick and Donis again.
So are we going towards like a ship? Are we going towards the docks or a building?
So that's the weird thing is you keep following your ping, Carrick, and it takes you to a river. Across the river, you can see some more dock houses and like some storage. But there's a ferry station.
It's like it's a ferry, and then there's buildings on the far side. Yeah.
There is a ferry on the river that can take you across.
I thought you said ferry.
No, a ferry.
As in like
on the Mersey.
The creature ferry.
I know what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Are we supposed to go over this?
Well, if I'm honest, I've lost the signal, but then a river will stop the signal working.
Why is everybody just so useless?
My guess, there's buildings over
there. Give me a perception check.
Both of us?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Percepzione.
13.
14.
You can see some figures moving over there. It actually looks kind of bustling over across the river. But around the ferry, you just see like three guys. One of them is in a suit, like you had heard the people that you were asking about the mob describe mob guys.
Is the guy in the suit a half orc?
No, this is a little halfling actually.
Dennis.
Dennis is probably already moving just towards the ferry, just to the people.
You see the guy down there in the suit?
It's a nice suit.
Yes, but that's what I've heard that the mob guys wear.
Okay.
Keep your eyes and ears open.
How do I keep my ears open?
By not sticking your fingers in them.
Why would I stick my fingers in my ears?
I don't know, but if you're thinking about doing it, don't do it.
I don't understand this line of thinking.
I know. It's sad. Shall we?
Sure. He's just going to keep walking straight towards them.
I'm carrot me like little legs again. Try and keep up.
All right. As you approach the ferry, there's two people standing outside that are in just like kind of big, like not really raincoats, but like the dock worker.
Yeah.
Like yeah. Thank you. You know what I mean.
I don't.
They're standing there, and as you approach, they say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Where are you guys going?
Onto the ship.
This ferry is for workers only. We can't let you across there."
We're workers.
You don't. I don't recognize you. Are you new or?
We're new hired protection. For, you know.
Give me a deception check, please.
Just waiting for it. Would a 22 be good enough?
You know, I thought I rolled pretty well. Yeah, that would be enough though.
22.
Yeah, you're a pretty good liar, huh? It's like
Been lying this whole time.
you should really get, like the outfit.
The whole purpose is that we're undercover.
All right. And he just looks around at Carrick and's like, "You should. I don't know. Whatever. Get over there."
Just keep walking.
Yeah, Karen will keep your mouth shut.
Good call. The guy on the boat and so looks it down at you and he's like, "Are you you guys been in town?
Yes.
You have anything with you?"
We're here for protection.
All right, more. Just keep calling more. All right. We'll start up the boat.
Just now going somewhere. No idea where.
Well, we're going there. That's good.
They ferry you.
Dennis is going to, I presume with Carrot, just going to go to, a corner where you can kind of look over the edge where there's not going to be any, activity or people to hear. And just this better be important.
I'll let you know.
All right. So, y'all are on a ferry. It's going right across the river. It's not a long ride. It's probably just 10 minutes, honestly. As you approach, you get closer and closer and closer, and you see a set of 4 dock houses going down this little bit of shore, and so many people. There's so many people over here, guys. There's some dudes in suits. There's some people that are in just normal commoners clothing, but they're helping the people in suits move boxes around. It looks like there's some system to what they're doing, but you can't really tell what it is at first glance. The thing that stands out to you is a lot of security. There are people waiting for you to get off the boat. There are people outside each dock house and some people circling around each one. Just looks like it's on a schedule of some sort. And towards the end of the pier, where all the storage houses and dock houses are, it just increases.
We should probably approach this with the others.
Donis, how long does your detect magic last? You can do it at will, though.
It's at will, so basically consistently, yeah.
You do pick up on some magic. It's weird. You don't see anything on the guy that's driving the boat, on the halfling that's driving the boat. But the people guarding the dock house, or not the dock house, just off where you would disembark the ferry. Mm-hmm. They have some. It does tell you the school. There is some slight enchantment magic behind their eyes, and it's kind of a ways off. But anybody that you can see within 30 feet on this side of the dock houses that have that enchantment magic behind their eyes.
Yeah, I wouldn't go forwards, and I'd just turn to Carrick and say, they're detecting magic of some kind. They have enchantment behind their eyes.
Well, I think I've seen what I need to see for now. I don't think we can handle this.
Can you hide somewhere?
I'm very good at hiding.
Good. Then Darnis is going to do something that would completely surprise you, because I don't think you've ever seen anything like this before. He's going to walk you're gonna jump over the side of the ferry, and you'll be like, you'd probably be confused. You look over, he's just gonna walk down the side of the ferry because he can do that. He's then gonna just walk underneath the ferry and just wait because he neither needs to breathe and also he can spider climb. So he just crawls and just goes underneath. Hopefully in a position that people don't see, but we'll see.
The weirdest shit is that nobody noticed you do that.
He just jumps over and just...
I'm going to
and he
try.
just waits.
I'm going to try and hide with a hide action because I've got nimble escape, which lets me hide. I know this is in combat, but I've got nimble escape and something else as well, which gets master of tactics. There's another one which allows me to do hide cunning action, so I can hide twice.
Sure.
I'm being very hidey.
First, what's your passive perception, Carrick?
My passive perception is 14.
Okay. And give me your stealth roll.
Stealth, of course, is one of my strongest. Actually, it isn't too bad, probably enough. Come on. This is not a bad roll. Oh, that's a good roll. That's a very good roll. That'll be 24.
Yeah. You find somewhere, you notice that there's like a little hatch on the surface of the deck that's just kind of been worn down, like people walk over, don't really use it much. You have to kind of pull like the little ring to lift it up a bit because it's a little stuck from just sitting there and like sea salt getting in there and adhering a little bit. But you pull it up and you hop in there. And as you're going in, you do notice that some of the crates that people are carrying, you can see just a shiny little glimmer of that golden hog's tooth on one of those crates. But you hop in, and then this is all happening like that when you pull up and like the people put like the board up for you guys to disembark. And the guy at the halfling that was controlling the ship says, "All right, everybody, y'all," and looks over, is like, "Damn, they're fast. All right, going back to wait for more." Just waits like 2 minutes, getting everything set up, waiting to see if anybody needs to go back. Let's see. Does anyone need to go back? Yeah, a couple guys need to go back. There's like 4 guys. You can see a little bit through like the grates in the floor. There's a guy in a suit and then just a few people in commoner's clothing that hop on to go back and say their greetings to the guy driving the boat. And take off eventually back to mainland.
At the other side, Dennis is gonna. How I don't know if I can see. How deep is like the water at the other side?
If you're like just standing straight up on the bottom of the boat, you're probably maybe like 5 feet from hitting the ground just along the shore. It gets a little like maybe 10-15 feet deeper in the middle of the river.
Sure. Then he's gonna hop off and go on the bottom, waddle along slowly because it's in water to like around the corner a bit, try just a point where he can climb out, kind of away from the ferry, and then you can tell me if I'd be in a position where I can do this without anyone seeing it. I want to do a void burst just into like nothingness to make like a distraction.
Okay. So this is on the side with all the guards and whatnot that you're hopping off.
This is when we get back to where we started.
when you get back. Okay. Yeah, give me something.
Give me something, please.
Give me something. Give me your to hit roll.
Okay. Not great. 13.
Okay, I mean,
We're
good
not
enough
aiming at
to
anything.
exactly. Yeah, good enough to not run into anything. But I imagine the source of the sound comes from where it's coming from, right?
My idea, well, because it's ranged, so my idea is to, a little bit for me, but to make like a explosion in heavy quotes, sort of magic, so that people are distracted. For character.
Okay.
It's up to you whether or not well that goes.
Give me a performance check.
Sure. Strangely, I'm actually not bad at performance.
What the hell?
Unless, of course, I roll low and I get an 8.
So, remember last time how I told you that there's a festival approaching?
Yes.
Oh, you shoot it off, and there's just like a little, just kind of further away than you would have expected. And there's like a 5-second period where everyone looks up, and then some fireworks shoot off a little further down the shore. You can assume somebody probably figured that was a signal to start some fireworks.
Is it a lot of fireworks?
There's a little bit of fireworks, happening a little south.
Good enough.
shore.
It's a distraction.
They peer over for a few seconds. I'd say you have a round to get out of there, Carrick.
And that's what I'll do. As soon as they look away, and I think I have the opportunity to get out, I'm going to get out and go.
Give me a just a flat stealth roll. No advantage or disadvantage. It would have been a disadvantage, but this helped a little bit.
Well, that's excellent, because with my natural 1, that makes it 6.
Oh, buddy. So they are distracted, but one of the commoners is standing on top of the thing that you push up. So you push it up, and you're like, "Oh shit!" You feel the weight, but the guy looks down and is like, "What the hell?" And he lifts it up, and he sees a little Carrick in there. He's like, "What the hell are you doing in there?"
I'm going to use the voice characteristics and accent of the. It obviously isn't the voice of, because I can't do voices, but I can do the similar kind of the barge running guy.
Okay.
And say, "I've been fixing the hull, haven't I? Get out of the way." And hopefully he will take a moment to process what I'm saying, and I'll get off the boat and walk away.
Yeah, you hear him going. He stumbles for a second. It's like, Captain, you have someone fixing the boat? He's like, no. What the hell are you talking about? Goes and looks around, and
hopefully I've gone by then.
You've gotten quite a bit, but he can probably point you out. You probably want to move a little quick.
I'll be doing a dash at this point.
The problem, of course, being that you have been seen. Your face has been noticed.
Yes.
He's really uncommon, like a purple goblin. They'll never see him again.
Yeah, never.
No one knows him ever again.
Totally.
Exactly. Unmemorable. 3 feet 2 inches tall, purple. You see them all over the place.
Danos will catch up with you probably like a minute of walking down.
Yeah, it's not
soaking
hard
wet.
for you to. Yeah, not hard for you to wait just a little bit for them to not be looking and hop off and walk up a little way from the boat.
Thank you.
Literally dripping.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to tell me how you did that sometimes. A neat trick.
Did what?
Stay underwater without drowning.
I don't need to breathe.
That's useful. Thank you for the distraction. Didn't work, unfortunately.
The distraction worked. Your escape was the problem.
Yes, sadly, someone was standing on top of the hatch. Shall we head back? I think we found our mob center.
I have no idea what we found.
I'm pretty sure that's where. Well, the mob is big into stealing, selling magical items. I think the stuff that we're looking for, that was stolen from Jen, is probably over there.
Okay. And we'll walk back? Probably
We'll
fairly
walk back.
silently. Dripping slightly.
Yeah. Hey, Celeste. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good. She's just kind of like sat, on like the bench booths that they have. She kind of just sat on one of them reading a magazine about woodworking or something.
Oscar is he's gotten up. He probably waited like 5 minutes, saw that that Phenoglius wasn't coming, and just climbed up onto the booth with you and laid his head across your lap.
Yeah, she's just chilling, reading, waiting for everyone. Because she's kind of, I don't think she's 100% registered that nobody else is coming other than Phenoglius.
Yeah. Phenoglius would arrive sooner than the others, for sure. But I don't know how long do you think that would take, Finoglius?
Probably not very long to get there. He would, as he flies past like a bed of flowers, just like grab some on the way out, so they still got some like roots trailing. As he's flying past at 60 feet every 6 seconds. So I don't know how long you would have been waiting there. We never actually arranged a time.
No, I think she just kind of wandered off, did her own thing, picked up a couple of magazines, and went and chilled there, waiting for everyone.
What was your own thing that you were doing?
Yeah, so she was just kind of like... So... My plan was to get her to like meditate and try and connect to Annalise.
Okay.
However, I realised because of the whole Finoglius waiting for her outside, she's got nowhere she's staying. And she doesn't know where the others are staying, so I don't know if she would have done that because she would want like peace and quiet. So like she kind of just is walking around the city, kind of like trying her hardest to connect to Annalise to kind of like find out where this vibe is.
I think you find it quite difficult to connect with her being in the city.
Yeah.
Because as you had discussed with your friend, she's quite scared, and it's kind of like not good for Annalise.
Yeah. But yeah, she's just kind of wander around trying to see if she can suss where this vibe is coming from and like what it possibly is.
It's a little bit of everywhere. The church stands out. It's not super bad, but you just kind of walk by the outside, wander around, taking a look at the structure, and it just upsets your stomach a little bit to be there. That part of the city is really the only thing that stands out at all. Mostly just a general air of bad juju. And eventually, 20 minutes after sitting down at Fisher King, Finoglius flies in, looking like, what's his face from oh god, what's the damn movie with Andrew Lincoln in it? With the signs.
Was it Signs?
Maybe. No, that's an alien movie, isn't it?
I don't think I've even ever heard of Andrew Lincoln.
Andrew Lincoln movie.
I love Actually.
Yeah, Love Actually. Looking like the guy from Love Actually.
Yeah, signs. Yeah.
Oh, Andrew Lincoln is
Yeah.
in from Walking Dead.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Gotcha. I was going to say, looking like a guy from Love Actually, that could be like 10 people.
No, looking like Andrew Lincoln from Love Actually.
But would blasting through with the wind in your hair mean that you've combed your hair down and it's just plunk, popped back out again?
Probably.
Yeah.
Finoglius can't have nice things. So he'd set himself down on the ground, stride up to the table and go, "Hello, I just want to be very clear. The Jafinami men are gentlemen, so physical intimacy is off the table. Doesn't matter what you say, Celeste. Taking it off the table. I got you these flowers.
What are you on about?
For the date.
What date?
This is a date. You agreed. You said earlier, I said, you want to go get dinner with me? And you were like, oh, yeah, we'll all go get dinner. And I was like, no, just the two of us. And then you were like, yeah, okay. I got you these flowers.
Oscar lifts his tail and farts in your face.
Thanks for the flowers.
Destroy you, Oscar. Don't push me.
He just kind of does like the dog grumble thing.
I thought all the others were coming.
No, they've gone to the docks. Were you not listening? We're having dinner. They were investigating the docks because, I don't know, boats or something.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. What kind of dinner you want? I've been waiting outside of where we've been staying because I thought you were staying with us, and then I was talking to this nice old lady, and she made me realize you weren't staying with us. So this is the only kind of place that we would be meeting. So I'm sorry that I was late. I just assumed that we would be eating here, but we can eat here if you want to, or we could go find somewhere a bit fancier.
I mean, I need somewhere that will let a dog in. Well, unhound, but I guess we can go find a tavern or something.
Sure. Yeah, whatever you fancy. Maybe they've got, like, I don't know, a Dairy Queen or something, since they've got a Fisher King. Maybe they do, like, cheese.
I was thinking more like a Waterspoons.
I do like that chain. I hear that the guy who runs it is a bit of an ass, though.
So are most people around here.
That's true. Okay, well, let's go find somewhere to eat.
Okay.
And like I said, physical intimacy is off the table. I do not want you even reaching for my hand. Okay?
Okay.
I'm a gentleman. Okay. Oscar, I guess come along. We'll get you like a bowl of, I don't know, what do you eat?
Do you ever wait to let the guys know where we're going?
No, I haven't seen them in literally hours.
Okay.
Last time I saw them, we were here, like all of us together.
Well, I just don't want them to miss out on the food as well. So it's like,
Hey, they knew dinner was happening. They said that they weren't coming. In fact, Dennis was pretty explicit about it. He was like, "We're not coming. It's just you two."
why would he be like that for?
I don't know why he's making that face either. I'm pretty sure that is what happened.
You said the right name!
You said his name right.
Dennis.
You said Dennis.
You said Dennis.
Oh,
I mean, it's not
that was an
close
accident.
Yeah.
That was an accident. My apologies to everyone involved. Dennis didn't want to eat with us. Neither did Carrick.
But what? Okay.
We'll just go have dinner, I guess. That's it.
It'll be a very awkward dinner.
Finoglius would pay.
Carrick and Dennis.
Dennis would go
Where
back
you
to
going?
the lodgings.
Did you take a nice picnic and some candles with you that are now wet?
Yes. Go back to the lodgings. He would go into his room, take off his clothes because they're wet, go into his bag, take out a set of clothes that are just identical, put them on.
Right. Adelaide, you see a very wet man that weirdly matches the description that weird little fairy man was giving you earlier.
Shall I give the full description?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Carrot would be walking with him back to lodgings as well.
So,
Yeah.
my full description. From a distance, you might think that Danis is about as normal as it gets. He's obviously human, 6'2", with graying hair and a neat beard. He has a lean frame, evidently fit but not overly muscular, and more natural fitness from a manual job. He wears a leather top of varying browns and bronze latches with straps to the side. He wears large bronze-colored metal sollerets and greaves atop a dark, black, rugged trousers. His gloves are a curious matter, leather as a base, similar in color to his top, but with strange tubes of glowing glass and extremely dark blue that could be mistaken for black. But as conveniently in this situation, he gets closer, you'd see he looks fucking weird. His face is rugged and worn, but his skin is grey and dead, as though there's no blood pumping through his veins, and his eyes are a misty white, like that of a corpse, and on his body are many large scars that glow with the same dark black and blue magic. But he does stand tall and proper, not like a zombie. Doesn't look like anyone else is in control. He just walks normally, just straight towards with the little purple goblin next to him.
And Adelaide, I'll say, given your history, this man is a dead man walking. You have seen that kind of look, and this is a dead man walking, 100%. And with him is a little purple goblin guy.
Yeah, what does Carrick look like?
Carrick is 3 feet 2 inches tall, with purple eyes and purple skin. pale blue hair. Looks like it is in mid-30s, and he's wearing studded leather jacket. That's about all I can say about it, really.
I'm guessing this is in like the sort of mess hall area of the lodging.
Yeah, I assume
Yeah,
you're just kind of relaxing in the area.
Yeah,
Saturday
what would happen?
evening.
We'd get back, and
Well-
imagine that Dennis would go up and get changed, Carrot would go
Yes.
down into the bar or the inn or the dining area, wherever, to get a drink.
Adelaide
I'll
is
see you
just
down
like
here later on.
in a corner knitting. He definitely clocks you, but doesn't approach.
And Dennis would come down afterwards and just join Carrick.
Would I suppose? Yeah, Carrot probably wouldn't say anything. He might nod.
Is Adelaide staring?
She's being pretty subtle. She's kind of watching you in particular, just because you're probably the strangest thing, or the most unexpected thing that she has seen in this so far.
People keep saying this. I don't know why.
Just knitting away, but kind of like, what those? Okay.
It's kind of just-
Carrot would get something like an ale for himself and a big bowl of pork scratchings for Taris.
Yeah, there's no one manning the cafeteria area at this late on a weekend, but they just kind of left it open for you to
nice.
take what you need.
Yeah, I'll do what I need.
Whatever's crunchy.
Exactly. It'll be pork scratchings.
Pork rind.
Yeah.
Yeah, pork rind. Same thing. Yeah.
So just in the corner, there's just this really loud, just constant.
What's Adelaide doing? Just chilling here, spending your time doing knitting.
I think that she would sort of put her knitting away and go grab a snack and get a seat, like not right next to them, but maybe like a table or two away, so that she can kind of try to eavesdrop on their conversation.
I'm just saying, I don't understand the point of the dog.
Look, once and for all, the dog is strange, but it's just a
Yes.
dog. There's no reason to worry about the dog.
I'm not worried. It's just there. It's not helpful to our mission.
But if you do anything to the dog, Celeste is going to be very upset, and she is useful to the mission.
She's the only reason the dog is alive.
Well, that's a bit unfair. The dog's done nothing to us.
It is a distraction. It will get us killed.
You know what? It might save our life. You never know.
How?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Anyway, can he be killed?
That is a complex matter.
Yeah. I've seen some strange things. But you don't seem to be a bad person.
Was that in question?
Yes,
Why?
because I was asked to check on a bad person. Turns out you aren't.
Did you just find the wrong person?
No,
you
I'm
have
pretty
proven
sure.
to be a bad investigator.
No, I think you'll find I'm a pretty good investigator, and you're pretty difficult to miss. And speaking of investigating, we'll talk about what we found later on. There's other people here.
It's an old lady. What's she gonna do?
She looks like an old lady.
She's literally knitting.
I can knit. That doesn't mean anything.
Can you knit
No.
off?
No, I can't. I can do lots of other things, though. I can play chess.
You're telling me you're not proficient with weaver's tools?
I am proficient with a forgery kit. I can forge some knitting. It'll look exactly like real knitting, but it isn't actually knitting.
I was looking down at what am I proficient with, and under tools it says horses.
Horses. I never thought of them as a tool before. But fair enough.
You can use a horse as a hammer, like a screwdriver. What the uses for a horse?
If you're concerned about the old lady, we can move her.
No. Just leave her alone. Let her get on with her knitting.
Then why can't we talk our business?
Our business is private and should be spoken about away from bystanders.
Okay.
There you go. I'll reach over and nick a bit as well.
It's just like the hardest, like oldest. It's so difficult to bite.
Do you enjoy this stuff?
You found a bag of pork rinds that's been there for like 3 months.
Mhm. I like it crunchy.
This isn't crunchy. This is solid. I think I've broken a tooth.
Very, very crunchy.
I think I'll stick to the ale. I know. I'll start dipping the pork rind into the ale to make it softer.
Oh,
It'll work. But it's gross. Well, that's the conversation you hear.
There you go. Now you know all you need to know.
I was hoping there would be something juicy for me to jump in on, but mostly just arguing about a dog, and there's no dog around.
Yep. As far as you're concerned, the dog and Celeste don't actually exist yet. These two do, though. Weird.
I'm going to go up and see if Phenoclus is in his room.
He's not.
I don't know that yet. I'm going to go and find out. Knock, he's not.
He's not. How's the date going, guys? Can you just give me like a little snippet of a conversation?
Upon touching the doorknob, a 6-second long recorded message would play, because I can do it on any tiny non-magical object, saying, Phenoclus is currently unavailable right now. If you come back later, maybe I'll be in. Okay, bye!
Oh my god. I'll head back downstairs again.
Rating.
Would I have heard
Shut up.
that?
Yes,
It would've been-
it's
it would've been
very loud.
Fairly loud.
It echoes.
I see the Phenoclus isn't in.
Yes, you heard that too. Yes.
Tell him about the mob
Adelaide.
family later.
It's gonna turn to you guys.
Don't mention the mob family.
An old fairy, or young fairy person.
Ah, Phenoclus, yeah, he's a fairy, yes.
Phenoclus, chief enemy.
And she's gonna take out the little fob that Phenoclus gave him and just click it, and she's gonna start playing the.
You've
the
been very
message.
nice. Thank you so much for being nice to me. You have a lovely day. I hope that all this message is getting a little bit long now. Just
Oh,
And
you've met
It's
him.
like I here earlier, but then they ran off looking for you. Actually, we talked for a bit.
Well, he could have gone back to the
He was supposed to be going on a date.
He looked pretty. He didn't go.
date.
He was pretty upset about the date not happening. Actually,
Oh, Celeste. But where?
is that your friend with the dog?
Yes,
Don't talk about the dog.
it's a very nice dog.
He's not a
Oh,
nice dog.
Dennis
mutt.
can be a bit grumpy at times. All the time, in fact.
I'm Ad, by the way. I'm staying here.
Oh, nice to meet you. My name is Carrick. This is Dennis.
It's so lovely to meet you.
Well, it's lovely to meet you too. But I'm afraid we have to be going. We have to find our friends.
Is it lovely?
It is.
We're going to
Yeah,
have to have a chat one of these days.
we're having one right now.
No, I mean, he and I.
Ah.
But yes, it's lovely to meet you.
I don't
Okay.
understand why everybody is lying.
It is. She's a very nice old lady, probably.
She just kind of
But
turns
you were
back and
saying
go
you
turning.
said that we.
I'm going to do
trust her.
an insight on the nice old lady.
Okay,
To
what
see
are
if she-
you looking for?
I'm looking to see if she's in fact a nice old lady.
Oh, okay.
I'm just inciting whether she's being honest and open. And that is not a great roll, so it's 14.
I guess roll a persuasion or deception based on whatever you were trying to do here.
But don't tell us which one it is.
Yeah, don't tell us.
Wait, can you find
I got a 15.
Gosh darn
It's
it.
pretty hard to read.
It's a really nice old lady. And she's pretty good at knitting. Very depth with her and coordinating. Coordination. Words.
I thought you said we shouldn't trust her because we don't know that she's an old lady.
There's trusting with confidential information, and there's being friendly. They're not the same thing. I'm sure this... What was your name again?
Adelaide.
Madam? Adelaide there. I'm sure she has stuff she wouldn't want to talk about in public.
Kind of like turns back over to you. Guys aren't being super subtle or quiet, and she's like, "Oh, I'm an old woman now. All my secrets. I've got nothing going on.
Come now.
I like the simple life."
Well, that's very nice for you. Then I should stay away from us if you want a simple life. Things seem to get complicated around us. I can't understand why.
Oh, have you been on any adventures?
We went on a ferry.
We did go on a ferry.
Wow.
That is true.
Did you have fun?
We got away, so I suppose so. I didn't
you.
lose any limbs, and Taris didn't get shot this time, which I think is a bonus.
This time? You got shot recently?
Oh. It doesn't seem to worry him too much. I wouldn't worry about it.
It was an
He
inconvenience.
seems like he could take a shot.
Yes. Remarkably well, actually. I was quite surprised. Anyway, I'm sorry to run, but we must find our friends.
I think that's a good idea. Your friend's pretty upset when I last spoke with him.
You spoke with them. My commiserations.
Plays the message again.
Yes.
Hey, you've been really
yes.
nice. You really made my evening. I think that you have a wonderful person, and I'll see you. This message is getting kind of long. I guess I'll just.
He was drinking a lot of coffee.
He does that.
Not sure if that's a sign of worry or not.
No, that's normal.
He drinks a lot of coffee a lot of the time. It probably explains the voice.
It is a sign of worry, but yes, it's normal.
Fine.
Well, we'll probably see you later. We'll be heading back at some point. Are you staying here?
Yeah. I work as cleaning lady in town.
Ah, I see. Excellent. Well, have a pleasant evening. We'll probably see you later. Taris, you coming?
Just heard that. Hurting.
I'm gonna head over to the what's it called?
Fisher King.
Fisher King. That's it.
Dennis is going to stay behind.
I'll see you later.
Okay.
I'm gonna cackle head off.
He's going to put the moves on someone his own age.
Damn.
You don't know how old
What
he is.
time of day is it right now?
It's evening. It's getting it's like old person late. It's getting
Okay.
old person late.
I was gonna say once it seems like it's getting like suspiciously late, she's gonna put away her knitting and she'll just kind of be like vampiring. His old phone's just not what they used to be, and she just kind of like waddles to her room.
I think the whole evening, completely silently, Dennis would have just been eating hit. Well, I guess not too silently, 'cause he's eating, but just like kind of staring. Not like fully staring, not like the full creepy, just like he's looking around, not doing much, and then like every few minutes is just checking in on what she's doing before she leaves.
Would you like to insight check Adelaide?
I might as well, because if he's staring at her for long enough.
They talk that he's been sort of tracking me, or that he seems suspicious of me.
You can insight him as well.
All right, inside check.
Insight war.
13.
You've already had a pickpocket war. No, it's inside war.
We're gonna have
I got
an
18.
Yeah, I mean, I assume Donison's being especially subtle. Just kind of casually.
Does he know what subtle
Checking.
even means?
He can be subtle.
Yeah.
He's got a good
Really?
step.
I suspect you pick up Donis is looking at you every now and then. Do you think a 13 is good enough to gather anything from Adelaide?
I think she seems exactly what you would expect. Just a sweet old lady who's working as a cleaning lady, and she's just spending her night knitting.
Fair enough.
That'd be my assumption as well.
Seems reasonable.
Maybe just a little note on the deftness of the knitting, but lots of time to practice. So.
Yeah, she seems like she is good with her hands. Like she's doing like a pretty fast stitch.
Oh, how's the date going, guys?
I don't know. What is
You're there.
Yeah, but what?
Finoglis
what
is going to sleep, I
Finoglis
think.
talking
How's it going on your end?
I was waiting to see what Purdy said first. I
I
would
guess
say
it's
that
entirely reliant on Finoglius.
I would say that because the last thing that Purdy had said about it was that it was very awkward. Finoglius has put in a lot of effort, but isn't feeling the vibes. So he's gonna say, Celeste, I've got something I've got to say to you. I think, and don't get upset, I think it's best if we just remain friends. I'm not really feeling it, and that's okay. Sometimes people aren't meant to be. I will always have a lot of respect for a woman like you. And since I know you, that is you, so I have a lot of respect for you. But, sometimes you just gotta see what else is out there in the world. And you can't fly, which, it's not your fault, but there's a lot you can do with flying. So.
Oh, Finoglis.
No, don't get upset. No, there will still be no physical intimacy.
If we
I said that right at the beginning. Now, don't make this harder than it has to be. Don't make this harder than it has to be, Celeste. It's okay, I understand.
I'll let you know if you shut up enough to listen.
I have trouble doing that, I'm sorry.
I know. There was never anything between me and you.
Well, no, not yet. That's the point of you go on dates and you see how it goes.
I went on this date to not hurt your feelings. And I thought the others were coming.
That is both considerate and very inconsiderate of you. I understand. Yeah. I understand that you're lashing out right now because you're hurt, Celeste. I still have great respect for you, and we will part as friends. But I suggest that we end our dalliance here and
thank God,
stay with fond memories.
Hi, would the lovely couple like some wine?
No,
thank you.
No, we're definitely not a couple.
I broke her heart, so I'm sorry if we're making a scene.
Already gone.
Okay, bye. No tip for them, okay? No tip.
I have a question if you shut up long enough for me to ask.
Yeah,
no wonder there's no chemistry here. This whole day.
Chemistry? What are you talking? This shows that you don't listen. I am a mechanic, not a chemist. Okay? Mechanical is my area of expertise.
Finoglius, where is everyone staying?
Have you just been sleeping rough this whole time? We're staying at the free lodging.
No, I've been staying at my friend's house.
Well, why don't you go in there then?
Because it's outside of the city, and I can't be bothered to travel.
Oh well, you can come and stay at a free room that is not mine at the lodging. if you would like
I didn't
to.
plan to stay in your room anyway.
Well, otherwise you might have to stay with Dennis, and nobody wants that.
I don't know.
Well, we get
It'd
to
be
use it
Probably quite easy to share a room with.
because I'm an
At least he
officer.
doesn't talk.
So we get the rooms because I'm an officer of one. So that's how it is. But I can't guarantee that there are free rooms. So I'll ask for you.
I'll bunk with one of the others if need be.
Okay. Well, I would suggest Carrick because he doesn't take up very much room, and the beds and the rooms are all kind of a standard size.
Yeah, but Taris doesn't talk, which is really, really nice, especially after tonight.
Carrick does kind of talk though.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
You just gotta get him on something that he's interested in.
Unless those two don't
like
mind
Dennis.
sharing and I get my own room, that'd be great. Anyway, let's head to wherever you guys
have
are
better luck
stopping.
going back to your friends. Huh? What? Oscar, shut up.
As you guys were
No,
walking
yes.
down to Fisher King looking for these two, a few blocks down you hear this like weird shouting match of these two voices.
There's only me there, I think, because
Oh
So-
yeah, Carrick, yeah.
so Carrick would go, oh yeah, I recognise that voice.
I don't know who's more socially unaware.
All of you, except Adelaide.
Phenoglius or,
It's Oscar.
or Tanis.
He's a dog, so he has to be less socially aware.
Like I've said
I would-
before,
at this
our
point, I think
towns
he's more
are
socially
quite
aware than you.
intelligent.
Yeah. Oscar's just a sweet boy.
So Carrick will come around the corner and find them chatting.
Oh, hey, Carrick.
Oh, thank God. Hi, Carrick.
We were just talking about
Yes.
so let's stay with you if there isn't a free room.
In the tavern, they found the tables around them have all cleared out.
Celeste, good to see
Hi.
you. Are you coming back to the inn, or are you going to your friends?
I was hoping to come back to the inn if there's room.
I'm sure there'll be a room.
We
If
may
there
need
isn't
to
a
talk
room,
all
can she
together.
stay with you?
I don't think she'll need to stay with me, but I'm sure we can find a room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have a nice meal?
No.
It was so, to be honest.
Well, that's nice. Yeah,
But doesn't Celeste look lovely this evening, Carrick? Even though this may not have gone the way that we both wanted, she is still a dazzling beauty.
This has gone exactly how I wanted it, but a bit longer.
I think I understand.
Yeah.
You look particularly striking as well, Phenoglius.
Thank you. You make quite the dashing figure yourself, Carrick, with all your purple hues. It's nice. Would you like to wear the top hat? It might suit you more. It might match.
I think I'll give that a miss if that's okay. Very kind.
The
of
tavern
Sensible.
keeper sneaks the check between you guys, just like.
I'm sure the gentleman will pay.
Yeah, I already said I would pay, but I'm not tipping that server because they walked away before we could ask them a question.
Okay.
They were rude. And
Sure.
they didn't have enough soy sauce, so...
You and this bloody soy sauce all night. You just spoke about this bloody soy sauce.
Well, I already used my jar earlier for mayonnaise. I can't use it twice in one day for two different things. I just like to dip my food in stuff. There's nothing wrong with that.
Why can't you use mayonnaise?
Okay, wholesale.
Celeste, why don't we let Phenoglius pay and we'll start heading back?
Oh,
See you back there, Phenoglius.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming along.
Think
mean-
nothing of it.
You were like 3 hours too late.
His heart is in the right place, but
No, it's not.
no, it is.
No, it's not.
He just pick
His
up
heart
on.
wanted a date.
Yeah, he
That's
didn't.
not the right place.
Well, I can understand him wanting a date. I just can't understand him getting one.
Holy shit!
So we'll head
we
back.
want to? Is there anything anyone else wants to do before sleepy times?
No, you get back to Dana's just sitting, basically still, just like. staring.
Dana.
Idle sim posing.
Oh, what
Yeah.
happened to that little old lady, Adelaide?
She left.
She's probably got a room on the
Yeah.
first floor. They were like, "Oh, you can't do stairs. Here you go."
Celeste was at the Fisher King, so she's come back. I don't know. There must be some spare rooms in this place.
I was watching the lady.
Oh,
She's just an old lady.
Do you enjoy watching ladies?
there was a
Thing I enjoy.
little old lady here who we were talking to. Phenobius, I think you spoke to her earlier.
Ah, okay.
She was old.
I got that bit, thank you.
But
She was knitting.
I don't know, something about
Oh, that's one I've been wanting to take up.
She was
Yeah,
especially good
tomorrow.
with her hands.
Bit too much info.
No, I don't know. She was something.
Doing the knitting.
There was something. I
Oh.
don't know.
God, Pnoglyphs would have been off on me.
That's a bit.
Specifically said physical intimacy was on the
That's a bit too much information, Celeste.
You know, you
Oh,
keep
God, no,
saying
not
that,
that way,
but I don't
no.
believe you.
No. His word is his bond.
I presume then that the date went well.
No, well, yes, no.
Is it-
As a date, it went horrific. However, for me, it went amazingly.
At this point, Phenolius will probably come in with a room key for Celeste, having kind of spoken to the front desk people.
Oh,
There you go.
thank you. I was
That's
starting to worry I might actually have to share.
No, there's plenty of rooms. Dennis, I've got a job for you, my friend. It might be that we run into a little old lady called Adelaide around here.
I already met her.
You've already met her. Fantastic. Did you happen to take a look at her with your special eyes?
No.
Okay. If you see her again, I'd like you to do that, but with an eye for the ring that she's got on one of her hands.
Interesting. I already told the others she's very good with her hands.
Excellent. Even more suspicious. Maybe she's got I suspect she's got an illicit magical item. Other than that, she was very nice, very kind. She really gave me a little pick-me-up when I needed it.
That's good.
Speaking of,
Strange.
apparently Celeste said that she had a wonderful time on your date.
Oh, well, that's very generous of you, Celeste.
She said it.
She had been lashing out. I had to let it down. I was just no disrespect meant to you, Celeste. I was just not feeling the connection.
It's understandable.
So,
You can do way
Yeah.
better. And Dennis is
Thank
going to
you.
leave.
you know,
What the fuck, down here?
you know, I was telling Adelaide earlier about you guys, and I said Dennis is a nice guy. You just got to get into that tender heart of his. And I feel like just like the cracks in his face, we are cracking through his facade and his defenses.
What do you mean he's a... I am going to my room.
Not yet. Because I'd like to tell you what we discovered.
I am sorry, I
Very
can't do this.
Oh.
I cannot go on another date with one of you guys. I love you all. You are great companions, but I don't think of
Whoa.
any of you that way.
I've shut that down, Celeste. I don't need to be hearing that right now. I know you're hurting. You just gotta bottle it up and find a different kind of outlet.
And for me, I'm afraid
Oscar's
you're,
digging into the pork rinds.
you're 2 feet too tall for me, I'm afraid. I wanted to tell you about where Dennis and I went earlier on.
Did you find some interesting boats?
Oh, did you go on a date?
No, we did not go on.
They went to look at boats.
We did not
Oh,
go
that's
to
a
the...
sweet date. That's a much better date.
You know, I used to be a member of the city guard. And I left
Okay.
out
is
into
a
the big
red
wide
tower.
world. And I'm just thinking if I'd stayed, I'd be back at my desk.
I don't think you shared that with us before, Karen.
Sometimes you just
No, I
yearn
don't
for
think you
paperwork.
did.
I think we're cracking through your defenses as well.
I thought it'd be an adventure going into the world.
It's definitely
Yeah.
something.
It's great.
Definitely something. So we went in search of whoever stole. Well, I told. Oh, Celeste, you weren't there, I think. I was explaining that I'd found some stolen goods and indications that the local mob, or that a mob which is not local, it's a huge organized crime syndicate called the Hog's Tusk. They're operating here and they are dealing in stolen magical items. We think Dennis and I have tracked down their headquarters to the northeast of the dock area. So I'm pretty sure, but it's very heavily guarded. Lots of mob people there.
Okay, well let's see if we can track them down tomorrow. Let's look into that.
Yes. I thought I'd better let you know now, because tomorrow there may be people listening who shouldn't be listening.
That's fine.
Right, I am off to my room.
Yeah, me too. Good night,
You
everybody.
can't go to my room, you have to go to your room.
My room's next to your room.
You said you were off to my room.
No, I said I'm off as well. But I guess I am going to your. I got to go past your room to get to my room. So I suppose, in a sense, I am going to your room.
That's great. Celeste?
But just to be clear, Celeste, you are not coming to my room. Your room is over there. My room is over there.
Celeste, I'd just like to apologise for not getting there 3 hours earlier.
I accept your apology.
Sleep well.
And you.
And I shall head off to my little room, touching the doorknob very gingerly in case it does any has any spell on it.
Does everybody?
I'm talking about the voice spell.
Yes. Well, it probably is. That was on.
That was on his doorknob.
Nobody's-
Oh, no,
That's like-
right.
As I touch my doorknob, it will start to speak, and I'll just tap it with a tool to get it to shut up.
Everybody just gets that really shocking loud burst of somebody's put their phone on full blast for a moment before being like, oh shit. So is everybody going to sleep then?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Before Adelaide goes to sleep, I'd like to take out the fob key that I stole from
Yeah.
Six Pocket.
Mhm.
I just kind of want to look at it. Does it have any numbers, any words on it? Does it just anything about it that might indicate what it's used for, what it's for, where it comes from again?
It is made of a polished white stone, and in the center of it is what looks like a it looks like the same stone, but it's painted gold in the center and the slightly raised part of what would be the fob. Doesn't bring anything immediately to mind. Certainly not in this building.
Is it tusk shaped?
Pocket.
It is not tusk shaped. No. It is like an oval, oblong. It's kind of egg shaped, like a long egg. And on the larger part of the egg is where the expanded part with the gold paint is on. A long egg. Yes, you heard me right.
We're looking for a rabbit of some kind who celebrates the springtime.
If you want, you can give me an Arcana check for more detailed information.
Okay. 18.
Everybody's rolling so good. Well, mostly, except Carrick.
I was going to say, you get the one.
This key fob is magical in nature, which is... It's been a while since everybody's read the thing, but this is a relatively low magic world, so seeing, a magic item like that just, on somebody's person is not normal. That stands out. And that may be a bit of maybe they are connected to this stuff you're looking for kind of situation.
Say,
It's also...
familiar in any way, or is there anything about the magic that would?
Not in the
I
way
would
that
make
you're
interesting.
thinking.
Okay.
You would know that it is connected to an obdurative lock of some kind. It probably acts more as like a key to a hidden or ancient thing.
Hmm. And I did when I was sort of rifling through the office, I didn't see. Now that I'm like kind of looking at it, am I recalling that there was anything that might have matched that stone or that sort of painted jewel in the office?
Give me a history check.
14.
Nothing in the office, really. The only kind of thing you can think of is that kind of stone has been used in the construction at the church. There's a lot of white and gold motif.
And was the event that I saw in the book, is that for tomorrow?
Yep.
Or is that 2 days away? Okay.
It's tomorrow evening.
Okay, I'm gonna... How late is it? I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go to the church.
Okay. Ballsy. Okay.
I'm not
it is
gonna like walk through the doors. I'm gonna try to be sort of like a recon. Like I just want to see. I'm worried that if I go tomorrow, if whatever that thing unlocks, it will be too late. So she's gonna try to do like a kind of recon.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to be sneaking out of the tavern because I don't want this group. I don't want anyone to know that I've left.
Okay. Give me a stealth check. And anybody who thinks that there's a chance that they would leave their room in the middle of the night, give me just a raw d20 roll. We'll call it a luck check.
Do these rooms have ensuite bathrooms?
Yeah, probably. It's not much of one. It's probably like a little closet of a bathroom.
No.
I don't think Cat would leave the room, but he would be listening out for anything untoward.
Okay.
Because he spent his life in dodgy areas.
Taris should just be running on passive.
Cool.
24 on my stealth.
I wouldn't hear.
You're in the clear.
That's literally
Even
double
from the
my
dog?
Oh,
Do
you
I
know
clear
what?
the dog?
Oh.
You know what? Let's see.
I think Adelaide would have been more worried about the waking up the dog.
Don't like beasts with good hearing get like advantage on it.
You do.
Advantage, yeah.
The first is already good, but the second's better. Oh, baby! The dog knows. Oh, second check.
But I
you
know
know
that
that-
the dog.
Yeah, do you know that the dog knows? Second check. What's your passive perception? Or no, you're looking out for it. Give me a perception roll. Battle of the rolls with Adelaide here.
Perception. Fuck! Just 11. I guess Adelaide's just going.
Yeah. The dog notices. You don't notice the dog notice though. You see like a little stir, but it just kind of rolls over. As far as you can tell.
I'm so focused on if I'm gonna go, I have to go now. That she's not.
Mm-hmm.
She's not thinking about. Maybe I should be more careful, and I just go.
Yeah. All
I need
right.
to be stealthy.
Yeah, you make your way into town. It's like 10 o'clock at night in what is
I've got
essentially
my shawl.
yeah, it's essentially a college town on break during a festival on a Saturday. So it's a bustling night. Nobody's really paying attention to you.
Nice.
Alex, did I see you raise your finger?
I didn't want to interrupt with that. I was just wondering if Celeste notices Oscar noticing.
I imagined Oscar stayed out in the.
Yeah, I got
like,
the impression that
west
Oscar was
area.
staying out in the foyer, but
Then no is the answer.
Yeah.
So the dog didn't try to alert her.
Oh,
That's
not that you know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, you make your way to the church, and it is relatively newly built. This isn't like an old church by any means. This is polished white stone, with some gold motifs. It doesn't look like anybody's inside on a Saturday night.
I'm gonna do like a
Don't hear
little
any sounds.
perimeter walk. Are there any other entrances, or like is there like a bulkhead, like maybe an older part of like the foundation that the church was built on?
Let's see. Not that you can tell. No, there's just the one big main entrance, and the foundation seems pretty well built up. There's a lot of construction work going on in the city. This is in the main square, and it's like the most worked area in town right now.
Can I look through a window to see if there's any activity inside?
Yeah, there's big like stained glass windows, depictions of what you would know to be some old gods that are long gone at this point. But yeah, no, you don't see any lights on. You don't see any movement.
Okay, I'm gonna try to just go through the front then.
Okay. Doors open. It's a public place. It's like a community center sort of thing. It's a big empty room with like a second floor balcony along the side. You see some spiral staircases along the side that you could go up to get onto those balconies. It's not like a normal church you'd expect in our world where there's like rows of seats. It's like gatherings of tables.
Is there any kind of altar?
Yeah,
Or like
they're
like that?
more like a podium up at the front with some effigies of some of the old gods up there. That's kind of built into the floor. There's some rooms off to the side as well where there's a notice board on one side. There's some like storage of like paper plates and shit like that over on one of the other wings.
I'm gonna go up to the altar podium area and just kind of investigate it. I'm looking for anything that matches the stone or the jewel, and I'll even pick up some of the statues if they're like smaller.
Sure, yeah, give me an investigation.
15.
Okay. You start picking up some of these little stone effigies, and underneath one of them, I don't have a detail for which one it is at the moment, but there is like a little indentation, roughly the size of one end of the fob. There's also the pitter patter ahead at the entrance of a big old dog just going. You hear his little claws on the ground, kind of doing like a happy trot. You know how they get dogs get kind of excited and they do like a.
Yeah. I am gonna take out one of my knitting needles from my bag because I'm one of those people that keeps their knitting with them, and I'm just gonna like wave it, and I'm just gonna like throw it and see if I can just get him to chase it.
I thought you were going to stab him.
I saw that.
I thought you were as well. Like,
the relief in Pony's face.
No.
I'm disappointed you're not stabbing him.
Alex is relieved. Darnus is not.
okay. So you throw the needle. What's it made of? What's the needle made of?
Probably. What would be like a very basic material in this world? Like the equivalent of plastic.
Wood, I would have thought.
Wood, yeah.
Okay.
Nothing expensive or ostentatious.
Okay. It's made of wood, but you throw it just trying to get the dog away, and it knocks over like a little metal dish that was on one of the tables, and it goes. The dog just looks over and goes, trots up to you, and just kind of puts his muzzle underneath your hand.
I'll give him some scratches.
Just takes a
I'm
seat.
looking to see if I have food. Okay. Well, I guess you're just a cute one. I guess you're just gonna be coming with me. And I hit the key fob to the indentation.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
There's a brief pause, and then it sinks into the ground a little bit, and there's a bunch of stone movement, like it goes as it circles down into a basement, and it makes like a spiral stairs that go downward.
What did the other 3 paws do?
They go pat.
Very good.
I look at the dog.
The dog has stood up, and it's got its heckles up, and it's gone at the stairs, not at you.
That's not good.
Give me a perception check.
I'm gonna. Yeah. Let me wait. Where was it? There it is. 17. Do I hear any voices or anything?
You don't hear voices, but you do hear some very soft footfall moving up the stairs.
I hit the key fob and I tell the dog, I'm like, we should go. But I whisper it.
As when you hit the key fob again, you hear some voices going, "Hey, hey!" As you move out of the church.
Can I pick up my knitting needle?
Sure, yeah.
Would
You
I
can
have
pick up your
enough
knitting
time?
needle.
All right, I pick up my knitting needle and I book it back as stealthily and quickly as possible. I guess with the dog.
Sure. Make a stealth check at advantage because the town is busy and they have no idea who was up here. They're just looking for someone a little suspicious.
24.
You're totally fine. I rolled 2 3s. I rolled 2 20s to see if they could hear. You throw that needle. It was at disadvantage, and it was 2 natural 20s, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And now it's 2 3s to try to track you. You're able to get away, but you do see some people in commoners' clothes with a hood up, just poking their head out of the church entrance as you book it.
Do I notice them following me, or just that I notice that they're
looking out, and you can tell they can't tell who was in there.
Okay. Then I just make
But
my
you see,
way
you can
back
assume
to
they were
the-
coming up the stairs. Sure.
How many people was it?
Just all 2 guys.
Okay. Yeah, I just go back and go to bed.
All right.
I don't feel like I could do that on myself.
All right. Do we want to, since we wasted a little time at the beginning, do we want to go on for like another 15 minutes, or do you guys want to call it?
15, 20. I'm ready to keep going. I just wanted to know if we heard her coming back.
Yes. Right. Make another stealth check for me as you're going in with the dog.
Fail it.
This is a disadvantage stealth check with Oscar. He does not particularly care.
Natural 1.
Oh.
It went a 14, but you said it was disadvantage. Damn.
I think, to be fair, I think somebody has 15 passive perception, don't they?
I have
I'm at
12.
14.
Oh, 14. You would have just beaten it. But no. You knock something over as you're coming in. You knock over like a hat stand. And Oscar looks at you like, "How could you do this to me?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Deep betrayal.
I I will sort of go over to the little kitchen area and get one of those pork rinds and feed it to him for being a
Okay.
good dog.
Crunch. That's the natural one in reality.
Yeah, as soon as he crunches, I'm like, wrong one. Shouldn't have done that.
You guys hear a thing? What happens?
If it's loud, Donis will probably not like rush out at the speed of a light, but would open up and check out what's going on.
It's the
Celeste
same
will
kind
definitely
of
go out and check.
I
the
think he'll
kind of
have-
alert where if you hear something in your house fall over in the middle of the night and you're like, God damn cat.
Yeah, he will come out with just one of his daggers, not like drawn, just like in his hand, or maybe just like on his hilt or whatever.
You see Finoglis, because we were like a floor up, right? It's like overlooking the room, isn't it? You see Finoglis, like goggles over his eyes, pajamas on, Eldritch Cannon minigun out, be like, I'm gonna get that dog. So loud.
Celeste will come out ready to fight with one of the others and not.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, late.
Sorry.
You see Finoglis flying about 30 feet in the air with a minigun.
Donis with a knife.
Carrick would also be there.
Celeste has got his
Do
sight
you-
out.
Do you shot?
No, not after I've seen that you are there with the dog.
Oh, the fucking dog.
Don't be blaming
I'm
the
in the room
dog.
just
How do you know it's
over
not
there.
this lady?
He was whining, so I thought maybe he was hungry. I've been feeding him these, what's that thing? Pork rinds.
Insight? I've never heard of mine.
Insight.
Deception versus
Natural
insight.
20.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna do insight as
god.
well because
What does it come
For
out
a
to?
total plus 26.
6. Okay, I'll roll it anyway.
13, you literally doubled me again.
17.
4.
Just a sweet old lady, guys.
Fucking dog. A waste of space.
My
Such
god.
a sweet dog that you have. I'm so sorry that we woke you
It's
up.
not mine.
Hey, Dennis.
Done.
How are your eyes?
He looks at you for just like half a second with his face. Just like,
His face.
oh. And then turns back and there's just this. I mean, it's not like obvious, but also it's completely not subtle. His milky white, like dead eyes, just the whole thing goes black with his bluish black as he looks at you, which obviously,
You
I'm
can
casting detect
see
magic.
her left hand is petting the dog, which has the ring on it.
What's
Not
the
just that. You got a little bit of glow all over you.
okay. What schools are we talking?
The ring. I don't remember exactly what the ring is. Hold on.
Oh, skulls! I thought you said skulls, and I was like, what?
So here's the thing: is the schools of magic can be deceiving.
Okay.
This ring has necromantic energy on it.
Okay. He does not react.
The rest of her is just kind of like a conglomeration of.
Sure. I've seen magic people before, so just like vague magic, right?
It's dull though compared to
How rude.
other people. Yeah.
Yeah, as he doesn't say anything. As far as Adelaide's concerned, his eyes just went black.
Well, I think Adelaide probably would make something of that.
Yeah,
I was gonna
as
say,
in that's what
have-
she sees.
You've
I had
definitely seen
countered-
that before.
Okay.
For sure, for sure.
How you doing, Dennis?
Fine.
Fine, good, nothing weird going on.
So sorry to wake you all up.
Everything is weird.
Everything. Okay, I understand. Everything is weird.
He's just gonna like resheath his knife.
Hey, Adelaide, and as the fly down to you, still with minigun out. I couldn't help noticing the beautiful ring you had on earlier. Would you mind if I took a closer look at that? I'm something of an amateur jeweler myself, so I'd really love to get a closer look at it if that's okay.
Oh,
Just for like a minute.
Oh, I'm not taking it off.
Yeah, you can keep it on your hand if you want. That's fine. I just want to look at it.
It's my wedding ring.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, my late husband gave it to me.
I will not be giving one of those out. My date did not go very well. I had to break things off.
Oh, that's sad. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You're a young
Audible
man, though.
groan
You'll
from
be fine.
Celeste.
Better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all.
You'll be fine.
Yes.
And I love a tall
Fucking
woman.
love going to it.
You know.
Celeste said she had a
So
wonderful
is it alright if I just take a quick look at it for like a minute?
Taris, what the fuck are you doing?
You told me that it was an amazing date for you, but not a good date for him.
Actually, it's quite late for this old lady, so I think I'm gonna retire to bed if that's all right. And she gives the rest of the grinds to the dog. Hopefully he won't wake any of us up anymore. You all have a lovely night.
I'll take him to my room now. But thank you for keeping an eye on him.
Of course.
I must insist, Adelaide, please. I would really like to. You can keep in your hand. I would just like to have a look for like a minute. I now I want to go to bed.
Finoglius, let the lady sleep.
Yeah, but I can't.
Quite late.
I can't.
Maybe in the morning.
Yeah, but then you might be gone because it's a magical item, and I have to find magical items because I'm an officer of wand, and I noticed it earlier, but I had to go on my way, so please can I have a look at it so that we can just go to bed. Otherwise, I'm not doing my job, and then I might get in trouble. And I'm sure you wouldn't want that.
I mean,
Well, I'm sure
I'm
you
good at
wouldn't
my
want to
job.
be in trouble either.
Why would I be in trouble? I've got to check out magical items. That's my whole thing. That's all I do. I have one job on this team. It's stupid, but I'm gonna do it.
It's quite late for this old. I'm an old man. Surely you're not trying to hassle me down right now over a trinket from my deceased husband.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to, but you're not really giving me much choice. So,
Finoglius,
yeah, I guess.
she's an
I guess
elderly
I am.
lady. It's from her husband. Will you just leave her alone?
No, I've got to check it out. I'm gonna go to bed.
Damas will turn to Finovius and just say, "How important is this?"
Is it illegal to have it?
Well, that kind of depends on what it is. So I'm gonna say like 60-40, yes to no.
And so, well, where are your papers?
It's necromantic.
Is necromantic? Oh, wait, necromantic. You weren't recently in a town called Little whatever it was that we were in.
Oh my god, little
Where were
Ashball.
we?
Little Ashbourne, yeah.
Little Ashbourne. There was a necromancer in Little Ashbourne that we were tracking down, and I'll just pull out
Eerie.
of my pocket
A necromancer.
my little officer badge that I keep with me. And then we're staying in the lodgings for people who work for Tara, and that's me. So I've got to.
But surely if she's here by herself, she works for Taro as well? Have you thought about that?
Yeah. I'm still asking anyway.
She'll hold out her hand.
Like I said,
I've
you can
never
keep it on
taken
your
it off.
hand. That's fine.
Okay.
You don't have to take it off.
Okay.
You can just keep it there. And I'll get out my little multi-tool thing, and I will just spend a minute to cast Identify on it.
She's actually gonna put it into your hand, like rest her hand in yours.
Yep.
And I cast Charm Person.
Okie dokie.
Fight!
It's a wisdom save, right?
Yeah, of 12.
Oh, do I have a thing that gives me resistance to that?
Or
What
the
is the
fairy.
wording on Charm Person?
Say that again?
What's the wording on Charm Person?
You attempt to charm a humanoid you can see within range. It must make wisdom saving throw and does so with advantage if you or your companions are fighting it. Right.
Cool. And do you have like a subtle spell or something that would mean that I don't see you casting it?
It's only verbal and somatic. So the somatic part could be the putting her hand in yours, touching
that's sort
it,
of
and
her.
just saying.
I could do a sleight of hand if you want to see if I passed it off.
No, it's more about I'm having to look something up.
Do give me a sleight of hand for the other guys that are onlookers to this.
Okay. Your charm person fails straight away. I'm not human. I'm Fae.
Oh.
But it's humanoid.
Yeah, it's humanoid. You are humanoid.
Oh, I thought it was a thing that it was a human thing.
No.
I got a 12 on the sleight of hand.
Okay.
What are we doing? Perception to see this?
I mean, if you're particularly watching...
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely
If I'm
were.
not watching, if I'm not watching, do I get passive perception?
Yeah.
That's
13.
Sorry, I need to make
14.
a wisdom saving throw, yeah?
Yep.
13.
Yeah.
I've completely forgotten what the sleight of hand was.
It's 12.
So I have another question. Is she within 5 feet of me?
We were downstairs. It was only if you came upstairs.
Yeah, I thought you were just standing outside your room. Fenoglius went down there.
I had presumed I had followed down, obviously a little slower, but I thought I was down. But I don't know what the sort of like spacing is. Because I wasn't attempting to get right next to her.
Yeah, I don't think you are right next to him.
That's a 5 on my wisdom save. Because I'm sure I had a thing that is like Fey ancestry or something, but I can't see it, so...
Do you have
I
resistance
have
to
faith.
magical effects for charm?
Doesn't look like it, which is weird, because you
That
thought
is
that
very weird.
fairy would have Fey
Fey Ancestry says you have advantage on saving throws you make to avoid or end the charm condition, because I've got that one.
Yeah, but it looks like fairies don't have Fey. I suppose my ancestry is Fey, but I suppose I get it because I am Fey. I am
You
Fey.
you are Fey rather than Fey
Having
Ancestry.
Fey ancestry and not being Fey.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have
Yeah,
Fey
but-
ancestry. What the hell? That's weird.
You have advantage on charisma checks against me, I guess.
So with
Also, the others do notice that you cast a spell.
Okay. Well, when she puts her hand in your hand to kind of like see it, she sort of like turns it so it's under, and she kind of clasps her hand with yours, and it's like, you're such a sweet person, and like I don't think we really need to do this right now. Why don't we do this in the morning over breakfast, or maybe tomorrow night we could get dinner?
I mean, I'd love to get dinner. My dinner plan. I'm doing this while I'm still casting identify. My dinner plans didn't really pan out tonight, so
She's gonna try to slip her hand out.
okay. That I won't resist, but I will say, I kind of need your hand back so I can finish this.
Oh, well, I thought we were gonna do it tomorrow.
Madam,
No, dinner was tomorrow.
Madam, why are you casting a spell on Fenoglius?
As you say that, Danis is going to react because he's getting kind of protective.
Oh.
You see on his right arm, a chain kind of just like grows out of his arm, like you've seen a lot of chains before, and he kind of just whips his arm forwards, and this chain just fires outwards like a whip, and attempts to wrap around one of your wrists. It's a coin and grasp tattoo, but it looks like a chain to pull you away. The notes I have say it's going to be like a strength contest. I think it's slightly custom, but
Old ladies are so good at strength contests.
It's up to Rowan really how this goes.
I mean,
Or as in, I have a DC.
And I use shield.
I am immune. Fae is that humanoid is a creature type. My creature type is Fae. So like a dragonborn is humanoid.
That does make
But I'm
sense
not.
because under features, yeah.
Weird. Okay.
Am I
Creature.
humanoid? Am I goblin?
I guess
if
it-
you're using the updated goblin, you're not. I believe updated goblins are Fae. I think.
Okay, we're learning all
Yeah,
kinds
sorry.
of stuff.
So I guess I'll keep hold of your hand.
Well, I still would have.
well,
I
I
still would have gone for the.
Yeah.
Yeah, one, you're, like,
I don't think shield
show
would
of
work because
that.
it's not an attack roll.
Yeah, because we've decided previously that it could be an attack, but I'm not doing it as damage. I'm
Okay.
just doing it as a what's the word? Grabbing.
If you're doing a grapple as a skill check.
Grapple.
Yeah. So, but you have a.
Okay.
It's
So-
a strength save. I presume you're doing it as me.
This same thing happened in the very first episode that I joined you guys for, where we spent ages trying to grapple Mark.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to say you can use dexterity to avoid the initial one, but if he does grab a hold, it's strength from there.
That's fair enough.
And I have in my bonus action cunning action, which means I can take a bonus action to dash, disengage, or hide. Can I disengage?
Would have to be a
Is that
reaction.
how
Um,
that works?
No, not for this. This is this is an attack coming at you, so it's just a dex save. But like if we go into combat, then yeah, you can disengage on a bonus action.
Wait, so it is an attack, but shield wouldn't work?
It's a
It's a skill
save.
check.
It's a skill check.
It's not a
Contested.
damaging attack. It's a grapple just
I
from a
get it.
distance, basically.
Okay. So what do I have to do to...
A
She's
dex
gonna
save.
try to move out. Okay, there we go. 21?
Yeah, of course.
21?
So this chain whips out and goes for where your wrist, I guess, was.
I will
And
say Adelaide is like
whip around
totally
and
unfazed by, like, she's not intimidated whatsoever by this.
But to be fair,
Um,
to avoid that, would you stop holding hands with Vernobulus?
Well, he's not letting go now that he's not charmed.
I guess you're coming with me.
Oh shit!
I think things are getting... I think things are getting a little heated here.
How about we all just calm down?
I was trying to take care of your dog. And I've been accosted here in the middle of the night.
You were casting a
I
spell.
hate that fucking dog.
You
I
have,
hate it.
Because
so
I
much.
felt threatened.
you have a
You think it's
necromancer's
common?
ring, and you have a necromancer's ring, and you've tried to cast a spell on our associate.
He was holding
I
your
don't
hand.
think
I've only
Well,
tried to protect
he-
myself.
From what?
You're the one lashing out, literally.
Has it been a minute?
Probably
Have you
not
kept your
quite.
concentration?
I don't think it is. Is it concentration? Let's
I have
look.
no idea.
Spells.
Ma'am, do you mind me asking what type of spell you were trying to cast?
It is not concentration.
I don't even know if it has a name. I just thought it would try to make him leave me alone. I do it sometimes when I feel, overwhelmed.
That's sensible. It's your misfortune that my nature is a little more alien than most. Well, no one said anything. You guys are tired.
Donna's just staring.
I'd really rather be left alone.
I'll give one final round before identify completes. If anybody wants to,
It's just a gift from my late husband.
I'll give you my most winningest smile and be like, "Oh, if it's just a nice little casual thing, then that's fine, and I'll apologize, and you can write a complaint about me. I'll even spell out my name for you, because most people get that wrong.
I really
The
am
X is
just
silent.
trying to work my job and keep out of trouble. I swear.
It's fine.
alright.
Good.
If no more aggressive actions being taken, identify completes.
Tell me about the ring of instant murder.
The ring of if
Do
you
you want to
identify it, you
share
immediately die.
what the ring is, or shall I?
It's an uncommon ring. It has 1 charge, and it recharges each day at dawn. The power contained within the ring can be expended to heal a target the wearer touches for 2d4 plus 2 hit points. And then once it's used, the charge goes away and it replenishes each dawn. So it heals.
Don't you feel like a dick now?
It's the Band of Dryad.
Cool.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's the Dryad. I don't know that that's what she calls it, but that's what it is.
Yeah, that mechanically that's what it is.
Cool. So Rowan, my question for you is: Is this of a nature that Phenoglius would have to confiscate it and hand it in, or is this something where I can just be like, "That's cool, have a nice night"?
It doesn't appear dangerous in any way, so yeah, no need to confiscate it.
Okay. Okay. Is it called the Band of Dryad in universe as well?
Not this one. No, not this one. No.
Okay. I'll be like, okay. I don't know why I did that. I'm examining it with like a tool. Like, okay, Adelaide, I appreciate your semi-willingness to help me with this. I will tell everyone so that we can bring down the tension. This is it's a ring that has a small element of healing magic in it, and so it is not a threat. And we don't have. Oh yeah, that's fine. You can take that back. We don't have to kill Adelaide tonight, so it's good. Which I'm very pleased about. If you would still like to get dinner tomorrow, I will pay to make it up to you. That's fine.
I really do apologise, man.
If it's so unharmful, why were you so keen to hide it?
Because it's very close to me and important. It's a ring from my deceased husband. I don't know who any of you are.
So?
I don't even know if he's who he says he is.
My name's Phenoglius.
So he says
We don't care about the sentiment.
Right.
We care about the magic.
I care about the sentiment. And you could have tried to take it from
and
me.
keep it.
I'm interested
I did say you could keep it on your hand. Although I suppose I could have removed your hand, so.
You're clearly not a very experienced adventurer. If you think
Adventurer?
that
God forbid. No. I'm an investigator. An officer of the law. And
Clearly
if you
not
want, I will spell
experienced.
out my name for you so you can make that complaint if you'd like to. That's fine. The offices are just kind of down the way.
Yes, I'll take that. Thank you.
Okay. I will pick up, I don't know, like a random napkin or something and just write out my name. There you go.
Still take it and pocket it. Well, I never.
I'm interested
Have a
in
good night.
Honestly. Someone from the Fae giving away their name. That just seems...
You don't know it's my real name.
It's true.
exactly.
You also don't know how Fae works in this world.
Yeah. My real name could be Beninimi Jaffinimi.
So, any final things before we call it?
Adelaide will sort of huff to her room.
As soon as Adelaide leaves, Dennis just pauses for a second and is like, I like her.
Yeah, me.
I like her, but I don't trust her.
Seriously?
Yeah, she's nice.
She seems like an apt fighter.
Where did the magic come from? She tried.
From the ring.
No, she tried a charm.
She has magic. She's
Oh,
faster
there.
than my whip. She has
She's
potential.
not.
Yeah.
She's not a little old lady.
Nope. Or at least she is, but she's fast.
Well, maybe we should just follow her around tomorrow instead of going to your dock thing.
I think we should invite her to join the team.
What?
I would be in support of that.
What do I have to do to make you like me?
I like you.
I like you.
Yeah, you're fine. It's the dog. I'm thinking we replace the dog with the little old lady.
You're a very proficient fighter. You've shown us.
From the corner.
Shut up, Oscar.
He's just
Please
licking
get
himself.
out of this. I come with Oscar, but I also agree. I quite like Adelaide and would like her to join us. But you don't make it seem like you like me.
Who?
Who?
You.
Who's she pointing at?
Who are you pointing at?
Derek.
Dennis.
Dennis.
Derek.
Tablet.
You had to think of a wrong name harder than you did.
I couldn't think of the real
Correct.
name.
Why?
So I was like, it starts with a D.
Why do you care if I like you? You're a proficient fighter.
I don't know. It annoys me that you don't like me.
I never said I don't like you.
You don't need to say
Yeah.
it.
Dennis, I think
Dennis.
Celeste would appreciate hearing it, as she's a little emotionally raw tonight.
You are a proficient fighter.
And therefore,
You're an asset to the team.
and you feel,
Tired.
in relation to Celeste, you feel happy she is around?
She is an asset to the team.
And therefore is valuable to you and you like her. There you go, Celeste.
Adelaide, you hear
Feel
all
the
this
love.
shit outside your room since
Oh
you're
yeah, this is the loudest shit in the world,
Yeah,
isn't it?
whole conversation just.
I like you leave thinking we're all fighting you, and then it's just like, yeah, we like her.
Adelaide's like packing up her stuff because she's a little spooked. So she's like, "Do I leave in the morning? Do I leave after they go to bed? I have to leave."
Right, well, for tonight, I think that's going to be it.
Perfect. I'm sure that went exactly how you expected.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
No, it didn't, and I'm honestly glad it didn't go the way I expected.
Oh,
It
we
was
always end up
so
doing
much
this.
better.
Yeah, let's just introduce someone new to the team and then immediately make a massive thing out of it.
You know, I honestly thought that your first interaction would be at the church. No, not at all.
I almost went
Oh.
down those stairs, and then I was like, "Do I really want to get my character killed in the first session? I don't think so."
That would have been very
Oh.
funny.
That
Would've
would have
been
been
so
quite
sad.
funny.
It's like
I'm
we
going
go
to
down in
tell
the
you-
morning and there's just a dead sweet old lady.
I was more scared for you in that moment than I was for those two on the ferry.
Yeah, because you don't care if our characters die.
No, because I know you're bullshitters extraordinaire.
It's true.
Okay,
Oh.
well,
Amazing.
yes.
After this incredibly fraught confrontation, Rowan, do we level up?
Oh
No,
my god, you were leveling up.
I want to level up.
it's a slow
Level three.
burn. That I'm
We've
gonna.
been level 3 for 3 months.
We haven't played it for 3 months.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dicebreakers. Thank you to Dark Fantasy Studio and Nicolas Jeudy for the use of their music in the episode. And a big thanks to you for listening. If you'd prefer to watch us on video, so you can see our actions and reactions, consider subscribing to us on YouTube. Don't forget to come back next week to see what the characters get up to in the next part of this epic adventure. I'll see you then.